Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Walnut Creek Crawdads pregame show. I am your host, Justin DeHaas, alongside me, Kobe Siegel. Kobe, as you know, we just finished a three-game series where the Walnut Creek Crawdads faced the Bay Area Admirals, a CCL affiliate, and the Crawdads lost the series 1-2
They
in
did.
terms of the series. And so, but hey, come back home, play the Solano Mudcats and it should be a fun game today. What are your early expectations going into this game?
My expectations. Solano is 0-2, and the Crawdads are 1-2. So pretty crucial game for both teams. Solano obviously trying to find their first win. Crawdads trying to get back to 500. But again, I am expecting that the Crawdads are the better team, and although with Chase Banks on the mound, we'll talk about that in a little bit. This will be a tough game for the Crawdads.
Yeah, and you mentioned Chase Banks, and he's going to have to go up against this Crawdads lineup. That first time when you look through it, you'll see Casey Cummings not in the lineup. Normally, he's that stalwart at the leadoff spot. That's not the case today. Ryan Ellis taking that spot at second. You got Duroff, Brome, Pointer, Donnelly, Farfan, Fellows, Gilliam, and Harrison at the 9 hole. And then you've got Austin Berggren on the bump, freshman out of Nebraska. When you look at this lineup, first, what are your first indications about it?
Well, first indications is not necessarily the lineup, but the the who is going to be in the field because Casey Cummings, not only is he a force in the lineup, but he is very likely their best defensive player. He has two outfield assists this season, so interesting to see how Cole Fellows does in center field. I think Casey Cummings by far their best outfielder, so I'm looking to see what their outfield looks like, and also Cam Calvillo being replaced by Griffin Harrison at shortstop. Griffin Harrison had one start. He had 2 hits, 2 RBIs in his first start of the season, but now he gets to play shortstop for Cam Calvillo. So I'm excited to see how he does.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's taken the shortstop spot. Like Calvillo and Cummings, two guys that played every game so far. Now they're taking a break. And yeah, Harrison with the 2 hits on Wednesday, as like the second leadoff hitter, if you will. But yeah, Ryan Ellis had a couple hits in Thursday, Friday. I guess that was Thursday's. Yeah, Thursday's game. And then you look at some of these other guys in the lineup. Donnelly came through clutch at the end of Thursday's game. Stepped in for Casey Cummings and got the RBI. It did only tie the game, and obviously we know what happened bottom ninth there. But it's good to see the Moon Man back in the 5 hole. And so yeah, and then with Gilliam again, like we talked about, they're just rotating him and Button right every other game. This is now Gilliam's third start in 5 games. So it's going to be it's a very solid lineup. It's a lot of names that you were familiar with. It's just every day there's going to be someone that has a rest, and obviously today that's Calvillo Calvillo and Cummings, and then Austin Berggren on the bump, freshman out of Nebraska. And honestly, when you look at his stats at Nebraska, nothing spectacular. Only 3 1/3 innings pitched with an 8.1 ERA. So jumps off the page a little bit. That might look a little scary. He has pitched once before already, and he did well in that game. I mean, not too spectacular. Like what, 2 innings, 2 earned, something like
Yeah,
that.
2 innings, 2 earned, 3 hits, 3 walks though. That's
So that part's a concern. But not a great outing, not a terrible one either. But so it'll be. What are you looking forward to seeing from Berggren on the bump?
well. I definitely want him to bounce back from not the worst outing ever, but I mean he definitely can do a lot better. I'm hoping he can give the Crawdads uh three uh three solid innings here today, and when you look beyond him, you look at who's going to be in the pen today from source from Coach Brant Cummings. We got Cade Cushing, Nate Nordell, Ryan Featherston, Ryan Troy, look for a little revenge for Ryan Troy, and Ryan Delaney. So, I mean, you got 3 Ryans in there. And Cade Cushing, we've already seen. He has been fantastic. And Ryan Troy, though, uh, what do you think we can expect from Ryan Troy today?
Something I expect from Ryan Troy is to lower his ERA and WHIP from infinity to an actual number. But beside that, I think, yeah, when you have no outs and 5 earned, obviously, you can only go up quite literally. But anyways, I mean, look, I think it's funny that you mentioned Troy and Cushing because obviously, Troy started that inning and Cushing was able to get him out of it, right? Like he gave up a couple of inherited runners, but still got 3 strikeouts and, he looked good. But yeah, I mean, look, it'll be interesting to see how Brand manages the pad and all that. But, like you said, if you can get 3 innings from Bergeron, I think that's a win. He pitched 2 innings against the Admirals, and like those 2 innings weren't spectacular, right? But if he's rolling, he could give you 3 solid. And so I think that's a nice segue into seeing who he's going to face. So the Solano Mudcats, you got Jackson Forms, Bronson Balholm, Austin Russell, Jake Tandy, Noah Garcia, Nico Castillo, Brian Aranta, Braden Indelario, and Nathan Hamburger, which, by the way, what a yummy last name that is. But anyways, when I look at this lineup, kid that stands out to me is Bronson Balholm.
Really, why?
Well, I might be a little biased, but he is an ASU Sun Devil. And look, this is a kid who was mostly like a backup catcher at ASU this last year. But, there was times where he stepped up. Ryan Campos, who was like a Golden Spikes watch list catcher, he was injured for a little bit of the season. And so Balholm had to step in there. And then there was times where Campos played the outfield, and Balholm was a solid catching option to put there too. So, to see that now he is, the starter for a team like the Mudcats, batting second, he just has more opportunity with this squad, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. But is there anyone else in the lineup that stands out to you?
Well, so when you're looking through the stats of these guys, one guy, Austin Russell, Odessa College, 474 batting average.
That'll play.
That will play. He is batting third baseman for the Solano Mudcats. So I am looking at him. I will be staring at him, and I will see if he can replicate this incredible 474 batting average.
Sounds kind of weird, not going to lie, staring at him. But you know what? We will all be watching. That's one way to put it for sure. And then Chase Banks from Sonoma State. Now, I ain't going to lie to you. When I Googled Chase Banks, the bank Chase popped up, and I was very confused for a second. But then I realized, if I just type in the word baseball after any name, it'll pop up. And so I found his stats at Sonoma State. In 37 and a third innings, a 3.86 ERA. So very strong for Jackson Banks. Also, our insider, Austin Oda, who is here for the first time this summer. Thank you. We have Austin in the building. And, he told us about Jackson Banks and that he is, and I quote, nasty. So, he has been pitching well in the CCL before. And look, I mean, he's probably going to pitch well again, right? That's one would assume. When I look at, his stats at Sonoma State, like, honestly, he doesn't pitch super long. Like, the most innings pitched he has in a game at Sonoma is 5. And even in that one, allowed 9 hits, 4 earned. So, not necessarily a guy, now granted, in the CCL, what we've noticed is that guys are really, like, a guy like Mickey Thompson was carving, and he only went 4 innings.
Yeah.
Where, I don't expect a kid like Banks to go very long. But, even if he were to, he never touched 6 innings at Sonoma State. And so he's a very good pitcher, but, maybe don't necessarily expect a ton of length out of him, maybe 3 or 4 solid innings. But anything you got on Banks?
Well, I mean, obviously, source from Austin again, Crawdads killer.
Yeah.
So
we just faced one of those with Kenny DeSalle
Yes,
batting,
we did,
and now
we
we're
did.
going to face one on the bump.
Yes, and I see him warming up in the bullpen with powder blue jersey. He looks locked in. I mean, this Crawdads lineup, no Casey Cummings. They're gonna have to really step up today.
Yeah, you did mention the powder blue. I like it. Powder blue is always a strong option,
Always
and
play.
these Solano Mudcats have some nice unis out here. But we are going to be wrapping up our pregame pretty soon. Any final thoughts before we hand it over to Carson and Austin?
Well, I'm really excited for shortstop Griffin Harrison today to show what he has at shortstop. I know starting at second base, as a former second baseman myself, I always like to think maybe I could play shortstop, but shortstop is a very probably besides catcher probably the hardest position on the field. So I'm looking forward to him to prove himself as shortstop.
Yeah, and I like how you mentioned that because, like we said before, he's replacing Calvillo, right? A kid that has played, consistently, and another guy who has played consistently is Cummings. I'm looking forward to seeing what Cole Fellows does in center field. Can he get an outfield assist like what Casey Cummings is able to do? I mean, maybe you don't see the great defense that Casey Cummings had, which is hard to live up to. But can he, replicate that in a sense? I'm looking forward to seeing those replacements. And quite frankly, I'm looking forward to seeing the Solano Mudcats. I'm a little tired of the Bay Area Admirals. We saw them 3 times in a row. It's nice to see a different team.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, that is going to do it for our pregame show. For Kobe Segal, I am Justin DeHaas, and stay tuned for 2 more minutes. It's only 2 minutes, folks, to listen to this game. And oh, by the way, you could listen to the game online, but you could also just come. We will have mud pies, which, by the way, if you don't come for the mud pies, that means more for me, but I'd love to share as well. So
Yeah, you
if you
would.
want to get a mud pie, go ahead.
You would love to share?
I, I'm saying that on air. Off the record might be a different story. But anyways, let's just wrap it up here. Thank you for listening, and yeah, stay tuned.
Welcome to Monte Vista High School, the home of the Walnut Creek Crawdads for the 2023 season. Austin Oda, Carson Mercier on the call. Glad to be back calling Crawdads baseball this summer. The Crawdads sitting at 2-2 overall, 1-2 in league play after a series loss to the Bay Area Admirals this last week. Now trying to flip that script here against the Solano Mudcats. Carson, let's start with what you've seen for the first couple days. I've been out for the first 4 games or so, and it's been an eventful 4 games for the Crawdads. You could, on one hand, say they should be 4-0, some inconsistencies with their losses, but also you lose those 2 games against the Admirals, and it's a tough series loss to open the season.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. You pretty much hit the nail right on the head there. First of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's
good to be back.
It's great to have you. The first game you're back, of course, and yeah, that game, or that series rather, against the Admirals, there were a lot of good signs for the Crawdads. The bats were very, and I mean very hot, and it just seemed like everything was clicking. Oftentimes, you're just seeing a lot of good swings from the Crawdads. They're drawing walks, long at-bats, good at-bats. The one thing that was a little bit worrisome was the pitching, mostly the bullpen. But, I mean, even then, it's still very early. A lot of these guys haven't thrown live to hitters in a while, so buckle up. I think this could be a start of a hot stretch for the Crawdads. First game of a 3-game home series.
Jackson Forbes, the shortstop, will lead off for the Solano Mudcats. The shortstop wearing 12. Solano in their powder blue jerseys with the red lettering and gray pants. Red socks with blue trim. The Crawdads, red tops, white pants, black hats with the Walnut Creek on their hats. Pinstripe pants, the Crawdads in black across the chest. Austin Berggren, the righty from Nebraska, on the bump. His first pitch on the way is a fastball right down the middle. 4 called, strike 1. 104 first pitch time. First pitch temperature, 66 degrees. Your first pitch time and temperature brought to you by Meadowlark Dairy. Trying to hang on to that Old Town vibe since the early 1900s. Berggren's 0-1 is up high, and the count evens at 1.
Yeah, his last start for Berggren, 2 innings pitched, 2 runs, gave up a few hits at 3. Only had the 1 strikeout, but didn't look that bad at all.
1-1. Forbes checks his swing, but it misses down and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Forbes, so far this summer, 3 for 5, a double, an RBI. Left-handed hitter, wide open stance. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Straight back into the glove of Gilliam, the catcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Bring the heat, Berggren. Fastball right by you.
Works from the first base side of the rubber. Peers in over his glove. Now the 2-2. Chopper to first base. Ryan Brome on 2 hops. Takes it to the bag himself. And a good start for Austin Berggren. 3 UA to start the game.
Yeah, like you were saying, just a good start there. Nice and easy. Heart rate doesn't get up too high right there. Nice little chopper. Nice play by Brome getting there, flipping to first. Nice start.
The rest of the lineup for Solano: Bronson Ballholm, the catcher, hits second. Austin Russell, the third baseman, bats third. Jake Tandy, first baseman, hits cleanup. Noah Garcia, the returning Mudcat, hits fifth. Nico Castrillo hits sixth. Brian Orantia hits seventh, with Braden and Delicato in right field hitting eighth, and Nathan Hamburger rounding out the lineup. First pitch to Ballholm is on the inside corner. A nice off-speed pitch, working backwards is Berggren for strike 1.
Yeah, something that he didn't exactly do in his last start, and was kind of
0-1 is chopped to second. Ryan Ellis moving towards the second base bag, scoops it up, tosses over to first in time to retire Ballholm down the first baseline, 2 down.
What I was about to say is Berggren in his last start was kind of the recipient of some bad luck. Not a lot of hard contact, a few bloopers. He did have a few walks. Yeah, he did have 3 walks, in fact. But, I mean, outside of that, the 3 walks, whatever. And it was a lot of BABIP singles, not a lot of high exit velocities. So, otherwise, he looked pretty good.
First pitch on the outside. Looked like a slider again to Austin Russell. Russell 2 for 9 this summer, a double and RBI. Really talented hitter. The 0-1. Slider fouled back, 0-2. Berggren's gotten ahead of all 3 hitters, and that's a recipe for success right there.
Yeah, you can already see an adjustment. Walked 2 guys in that first inning of his last start.
0-2.
Wow.
Just a little high, maybe?
Yeah,
Didn't think so.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good pitch.
1-2. Slider line to center field, moving back into his left. Cole Fellows settles under it, makes the catch for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down, 2 choppers, and a line out for Austin Berggren. We'll head bottom 1, Ellis, Duroff, Brome here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network. Bottom one here from Danville. Ryan Ellis to lead off. It'll go Ellis, Duroff, Brome, Tyson Pointer, the cleanup hitter. Joey Donnelly in left field hits 5th. Max Farfan, the third baseman, hits 6th. Cole Fellows in center hits 7th. Sam Gilliam catches and hits 8th. And Griffin Harrison rounds out the lineup. Ryan Ellis, left-handed batter, facing Chase Banks. First pitch from Banks. Grounded through the right side and a base hit past the dive of Jake Tandy, the first baseman, into right field. It's bobbled in right by Indelicato, so Ellis is going to take a wide turnaround first, but he'll bring it right back there. And a good start for the Dads.
Well, outside of the first game of the season against the Anchors, in the last series against the Admirals, the Crawdads went down 1-2-3 in all 3 games. And, well, Ryan Ellis trying to break a streak of bad luck against not only Chase Banks, but also in the first inning. Good start.
And we'll get to Chase Banks' insane numbers against the Crawdads in a minute, but here's Brian Duroff. Ellis now improves to 3 for 9 on the year. First pitch to Duroff is a changeup off the inside, 1-0. Duroff 3 for 7, 4 RBI this year. Tell me a little bit about Mr. Chase Banks and what he's done against the Walnut Creek Crawdads.
Well, in 5 appearances, 2 starts, 3-0 win-loss, and an ERA of 1.82.
Duroff fists this one towards the left side, but foul.
Total of 24 2/3 innings pitched. He's struck out 18. Doesn't walk anybody, and really doesn't give up all that many hits either. You can tell, big right-hander. He's got a kind of funky delivery. Maybe looks like a sinker, slider, curveball arsenal for him. And it can be tough facing a cutter with in a summer league with wood bats.
1-1 is swung on and foul-tipped into the glove of the catcher Ballholm. Ball and 2 strikes.
Because from up here, it doesn't look exactly overpowering. But I can tell you it does look funky, and sometimes that can really be the story, or really only thing that matters is that delivery.
1-2, Ellis goes. Duroff chopped it to third on 2 hops on a backhand. Austin Russell throws to first in time. Ellis around second, heading for third. The slide, and he is in there safely. A head-first dive. Great base running by Ryan Ellis.
That is a baseball play from Ryan Ellis. I mean, taking off on the pitch there. Great hustle play. I mean, realizing that ball is not hit all that hard. There's still a long throw across first base. Taking that risk, and it pays off beautifully.
Here's Ryan Brome, looking to get going. Just 1 for 9 in league play, 3 RBI. Runner on third, 1 out. First pitch to Brome. High fly ball, left field, foul territory, going towards the line, Noah Garcia, but he's going to watch it fall out of play. And back to what you were saying about Chase Banks, he's not a hard thrower. He's 84, 85, 86, but everything moves, and he knows where everything's going at all times. So he was one of the best pitchers in the league last year, and he's already been impressive to start this season. 5 innings in a start against the Slow Blues to open their season.
And he's still got room to grow, just a junior.
The 0-1. Brome watches on the outside. No balls and 2 strikes. A hole that Brome has found himself in a good amount this summer.
Yeah, he has not been fairly aggressive. We saw him swinging first pitch in this at-bat, but something just seems a little bit off. He's taking the first pitch, which sometimes is the best pitch you're going to get.
0-2, crushed into center field. Going back, Hamburger looking up. It is off the bottom of the wall on a hop. Ellis is going to score. Brome around first. He's into second, standing. A 1-out RBI double for Ryan Brome. It's 1-0 Dads.
Well, coming into the game, 1 for 9, I can tell you, he needed that one. He needed to see a ball into the outfield and turn an outfield around. Yeah, that gets the confidence up. A great swing there from Ryan Brome.
And when Ryan Brome is right, he's not necessarily a power hitter, but he has power that he's able to tap into. Everything's going to go center field, left field, because that's just his approach. Used it there, and it was great to see for Ryan Brome. Here's Tyson Pointer, another guy that's struggling to get it going early. 1 for 7 in RBI. Brome goes from second. The first pitch is right down the middle. No throw to third. The Crawdads are teeing off on Chase Banks.
Well, and here, Ryan Brome, I mean, another baseball play. You see Chase Banks in that at-bat to Ryan Brome. Maybe he learned a thing or two, only looking back. He's one looking to second base.
Pointer chops it to shirt on a couple hops. Forbes will throw to first and retire Pointer, but Brome comes home to score. It's 2-0 Dads.
And, I mean, a run scores because of Ryan Brome. And what I mean by one looking second base, when there's a runner on second base, you know, you're obviously going to mix the looks. Not there for Chase Banks. He was looking once to Ryan Ellis and then once to Ryan Brome every pitch. Ryan Brome picked up on that really well, and not a fast guy by any means, but stealing third base is easy when you get a good jump like that.
First pitch to Joey Donnelly is little off the inside, 1-0. I got to give some credit to Ryan Brome. He's faster than I think a lot of people think he is, and he's more athletic than a lot of people think he is. Doesn't always look the right way with him, but he does baseball things. Donnelly takes down low. I think that might be our term of the summer, just like baseball play, baseball thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of baseball players on this team.
Which, like, yeah, of course, but we know what we're talking about. The 2-0 to Donnelly is a little high and outside, 3-0. Donnelly's been good this summer. 2 for 6, a double, and RBI. We'll see if he has a green light, 3-0. He's a guy with the pop to warrant it. 3-0. Did not have the green light. Took right down the middle, 3-1.
A lot of guys with, we were talking about it in the pregame, batter's presence. A lot of guys you'd be afraid to pitch to as a pitcher on this Crawdad team.
Swings through the 3-1, maybe fouled it back, 3-2.
And that just goes into how a guy stands in the box, just what their appearance is. Donnelly, one of those guys, a tall lefty, stands tall, holds his ground. I wouldn't want to pitch to him.
3-2. Fouled off to the left. Count will stay 3-2. Donnelly, at the early part of last season, one of the best hitters in the league, then went through a brutal 2 for 37 stretch in that middle part of the season where he was hitting the ball hard, just wasn't finding any holes. He's back to start this year.
It's been a joy to watch.
3-2. Donnelly flies it foul again.
And tossing out a good at-bat here is Joey Donnelly. 3-2, 2 outs, looking to pass the stick, keep this inning going. You've already got a crooked number up on the board, and you want to extend that as much as possible. We know that this Crawdads bullpen and pitching staff hasn't been their best to start the year, so tack on as many as you can early.
Banks' payoff pitch. Up high, ball 4. Get it bat, Joey Donnelly.
Yeah, it's a major league at-bat right there to just see some pitches, foul some back into the net, and give Farfan a chance, who's also heating up recently.
Yeah, Max Farfan's been playing well on the summer. 2 for 12, but 2 doubles, pair of RBI. He was raking at the end of the year at University of Illinois Chicago, excuse me. He's a guy that was signed with the Crawdads for a while, someone who I was really excited to see play. Donnelly, a good leadoff first. First pitch, Farfan. Chops it off his shin, rolls to third base, but foul. It's a really deep lineup if you have Max Farfan, Cole Fellows hitting 6-7.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. And these guys not only, I mean, they can hit you some doubles, and they can also get one out of the yard, too. Farfan missed a home run by about 6 inches the other day. That was one of his 2 hits and a double.
0-1, fly to the right side, foul.
These guys at the bottom of the order just put up good at-bats. So every single one of them. You know, a lot of lineups have almost a hole in that bottom of the lineup, and one of those guys that I don't want to say is an automatic out, but you can't count on him for a hit, and it's just not the case for the Crawdads.
Time is called. Donnelly is trying to read that one look that you were talking about earlier. He's not the fastest guy, but when he sees that ability to steal, he's going to take it.
Yeah, Banks is also pretty slow to the plate.
0-2 is down low. Good changeup. Farfan, a good take.
He's got the high leg kick.
Yep.
And he doesn't throw all that hard either, so that just adds even more time and more room for error for a base runner.
The Dads are taking advantage of it. That's exactly what they have to do. 1-2. Up high. Donnelly had that base stolen, I think, if he was able to shift, because Banks is looking once and then just nothing.
Yeah, doing some dancing off first base, as I like to say, but just couldn't commit. It's tough to commit. You don't want to get, obviously, picked off, but if you're there, I mean, you got to go.
Deuces are wild. Pickoff move. Donnelly's back in safely at first. 2 runs on 2 hits for the Dads. A leadoff single by Ellis. An RBI double by Broman. An RBI ground out by Tyson Pointer. Donnelly extends his lead off first. The 2-2. Farfan crushes this one to left. Going back, Garcia. He's going to look up and make the catch just in front of the warning track. A really nice play by Garcia. Farfan good wood on that one, but that'll end the inning. 2 runs on a pair of hits. The big RBI double by Ryan Brome. We'll head to the top of the second, see some more Austin Berggren here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network. Top 2, Austin Berggren back to the bump to face Jake Tandy. Noah Garcia, Nico Castrillo. 2-0 Dads. Berggren's first pitch of the second inning is a nice slider that wraps its way around the inside edge, 0-1.
Yeah, we've kind of seen a change in approach for Austin Berggren. His first appearance, it was a lot of fastballs early in the count. Now he's going to the slider early.
0-1, swing and a miss. A ball up high, 0-2.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what it was, but it looked like it had some cutting action, and just another example of that, pitching backwards. If you can do that effectively, there's not many lineups that can beat you.
The 0-2. Just off the outside, a really nice spot. It's a pretty perfect 0-2.
Yeah, triple up on it, and now that opens up, your whole arsenal. Fastball in, slider out.
1-2. Slider out, fouled back.
Yeah, maybe hung it a little bit, caught too much plate. 1-2, that's probably got to be thrown as a called ball.
Yep.
That one kind of just right down the middle.
Still ahead, the 1-2. Fastball just below the knees, 2-2. I love that spot for a fastball.
Yeah, if you're going to work with the fastball, that's where you want it to be down, down, down. You get a lot of ground balls with the fastball down.
2-2. Lined up the middle, going towards his left fellows. It's going to drop in the right center field gap for a base hit. First hit of the day for Solano comes off the bat of Jake Tandy, who improves to 500 on the summer, 3 for 6.
And Tandy does a really, really good job in that at-bat. It's a slider. Again, it's hung a little bit by Berggren, but he does a good job. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. A slider, hang it, bang it that other way, and into the right center field gap. And Mudcats have something cooking.
Here's Noah Garcia. First pitch down low. Nice block by Gilliam. Garcia, returning Mudcat, played well for them last season. Big left-handed hitter. 1-0. In the dirt. Nice block, Gilliam again. Last year, Garcia for Solano hit .301, 731 OPS. Just 4 doubles, but 12 RBI, and he got on base a lot. (2-0). Chopper to short. Griffin Harrison will charge. He will just go to first and retire Garcia by a half step for out number 1.
That's a tough one there for Harrison. It's just a slow chopper, but he made the right decision. Go to first, take the out. You're up by 2. Out only takes still have 1 out, runner in scoring position. Not the end of the world for the Crawdads whatsoever.
He was almost a little too nonchalant about it, too. He was making that charge and kind of took the big hop, but Garcia was hustling down the line. Here's Nico Castrillo. 0 for 2 is Castrillo this summer. First pitch. Ooh, a little high. Good time to mention the umpires. Behind the plate, Ron Mosso. Robert McGee over at first. Justin Ammett, the third base umpire. The 1-0. Off the outside and low. Gilliam's doing work back there. 2-0.
Yeah, and he's been doing work really all season. I mean, all season. It's been 4 games, but he's made a really nice catch up against the wall here behind the plate, and he's done a lot of that, a lot of blocking bad pitches. He's been surprisingly really good.
2-0. Off the outside again. Nice sliding stop by Gilliam. He's a guy, we were talking about this before the game, who had a reputation as an offense first, defense second catcher, but so far the defense has really, really shined for him. 3-0. Castrillo takes a slider right down the middle. Right now with Berggren, it looks like we talk about him working backwards, but it looks like the slider is the pitch he has most comfort in throwing for a strike.
Yeah, and the release point on the fastball has just, well, not been there. He's pull yanking a lot into the dirt.
3-1. Fastball on the outside. That's a good spot. He heard you. Wanted to prove you wrong.
Yeah, 3-1. You don't want to hang a cookie in there, but that's a really good job.
Yeah.
Not getting scared of working the corners and finding the black.
3-2. Line to the right side, foul. Last year, the Crawdads, Seth Higdon, who I'm sure Alon remembers very well, he would fall behind 3-0, and we talk about not wanting to leave cookies. He would fall behind 3-0 a good amount, but every 3-0 pitch, right on the outside black, every time. I mean, that guy was nasty. He was unbelievable last summer.
Yeah, falling behind 3-0 is not a recipe for success,
No.
but
3-2 high chopper back over second. Ellis on a backhand looks to third, throws to first in time to retire Nico Castrillo. Runner Tandy moves over to third.
And another, I mean, already Ryan Ellis doing a good job in this game. Yeah, was it routine? Absolutely. Routine ground ball. Does a good job getting the out at first, but that look at third base, I mean, keeps the runner and Tandy from advancing any further. I mean, he could very easily just take off for home just as Ellis did in the inning prior. So smart play by Ellis.
Baseball play. First pitch to the DH Brian Orantia as a called strike on the outside. And that's kind of like, we see Ellis doing it base running, so he expects the other base runners to do it. The 0-1. Line to first. Brome going back, and it's just over his head. Dunks into right field for a base hit. Little broken bat nubber, it looks like, into right field. And the Mudcats inch a little closer. It's 2-1.
He's going to need a new twig in his next at-bat, but he'll sacrifice that one for base hit and RBI and cutting this Crawdad lead in half. Didn't try to do too much with that at all. I think it was a fastball, outer half. Just go that way, poke something in, and standing on first base.
Here's Braden and Delicato. I can hear the screams that sound like, oh, you broke a good bat. First pitch, slider on the outside. Nice pitch, strike one. And Delicato struggled this summer. Just 1 for 5, but 3 strikeouts. A lot of first pitch sliders from Berggren. The 0-1. Fastball down low. Gilliam can't corral it. It's going to squirt past him, but staying over at first is Orantia.
Yeah, you're never really going to ask a catcher to block a fastball in the dirt, but Gilliam, I mean, props to you. Former catcher to current catcher.
I was just going to say, you were a former catcher, right? So
Yes, sir.
I feel like and this is well known in the baseball world, catchers just know the game better than anyone else. 1-1. Slider, swing and a miss. That's a pretty pitch right now for Berggren.
Yeah, the slider, he's got that thing working. Yeah. It's bending corner to corner of the zone, and, I mean, he's getting some swing and misses on that thing, too.
Berggren, a high set, now brings it to the waist. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball, pushed it past him. Strike 3. First strikeout for Berggren. A run comes across on a pair of hits. They leave a runner on. We'll head to the bottom of the second. 2-1, Crawdads lead here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network. Cole Fellows leads off the bottom of the second inning. Crawdads lead 2-1. Fellows in center field today. Really, first base probably his primary position, but he's shown the athleticism play a little bit everywhere. He lines this one to the right side, but foul towards the Crawdads bullpen. Really just a soft liner off the end of the bat.
Yeah, taking over for Casey Cummings in center field, who gets a day off. Much needed.
0-1 is fly to the left side, foul. Casey Cummings has been on fire recently, just committed to University of Texas. Hook 'em. Shout out Casey. The 0-2. Fellows takes just off the outside. A nice spot by Banks. Nice leave by Fellows.
Fellows had a double in that third game against the Admirals, and it was just such a beauty swing. Lefty, taking it to the pole side.
1-2, chopped foul.
Fellows, kind of just one of those guys with a really, really pretty swing.
Yeah. Lefties tend to, but his is like another level of lefty pretty swing.
I have to.
I'd heard the stories, but now seeing it live, it's different. The 1-2, high fly ball, really more of a pop-up, shallow center field. The center fielder, Hamburger, towards left center, makes the catch for the first out. Still looked good. I wish my pop-outs looked like that when I was playing.
It's just like it gives you, we go back to batter's presence, and he's just got that stance, that swing that makes you a little bit afraid.
And that's your 7-hitter.
Exactly.
And really, we've talked about it all season with Cam Calvillo really rounding out the lineup for most of the season. It's been impressive what these dads have done. Here's Sam Gilliam. First pitch to the righty is an off-speed pitch that breaks, but breaks a little too high. 1-0. Gilliam 1 for 4 this summer, driven in a run. The 1-0. Line drive up the middle, a base hit. Center fielder Hamburger over to get it, but Gilliam on base with his second hit of league play.
And that one there, it kind of just, I don't know if you heard it, but it had a different sound to it. You could really hear the crack in the bat.
Yep.
As he shot that one back up the middle. I tell you, those ones, when they come off the bat, you don't really feel them. Those are kind of just the most relieving hits that you can have.
Did you ever swing a wood bat?
Few times. Never broke one in a game. I did swing a few times with a wood bat in a game.
Griffin Harrison flies the first pitch foul. I never swung a wood bat. I was always scared because our coach would make fun of guys in high school when they would use a wood bat. So I didn't want to be the guy that was swinging one. And then after high school, my summer, going into my freshman year of college, I was working out with the team and got to swing a wood bat. And it's a different feeling. It's the best.
It's also different when you get jammed. I can tell you that.
0-1 is up high.
I played a lot of summer ball where all you could use were wood bats.
Really?
And honestly, I think I have to prefer. I think I prefer a wood bat over a metal bat. I was never really afraid of breaking it.
Yeah.
A lot of my teammates were.
Throw back to first, but in safely is Gilliam. He's not going anywhere.
No. But just something about the feeling and something about the weight balance too. The weight balance in a wood bat for some reason is just it feels very pure as a hitter.
1-1. Harrison chops it to the left side. Russell over, throws to second one. Throw back to first is low and not in time. Dug out, though, by Tandy. 5-4 fielder's choice. Harrison beats out the back end.
Yeah, good hustle by Harrison. Hit it right at the third baseman. Had to hustle down the line. Does that. And, he keeps the inning alive and gives Ryan Ellis a chance.
Flip the lineup card to Ryan Ellis, like you were saying. Ellis 1 for 1. Lined the ball to the right side in his first at bat. Always great to see from Ellie. Runner on first, Harrison. Good speed over at first and a big lead. Throw back, not in time. The scouting report on Harrison is really just elite athlete. Good defensive player. Smart baseball player. First pitch. Ellis takes off the outside, 1-0.
You kind of just love those types of players, and We've seen Harrison play short, third. I've seen him take some fly balls in the outfield. He can do it all. And another guy got a good swing. He's a fun player to watch.
1-0. Ellis takes on the inside, throw back to first. Just a little late. I believe it was it called the strike? I thought I saw called strike, but I could be completely wrong. I didn't think it was a strike.
I'd be honest, I wasn't paying that close of attention to the umpire, but
Oh, 2-0. We got it. We got it. We're good. You heard me. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs to Ryan Ellis, the leadoff hitter. He zipped back, and it looked a little like he was doing a strike call. 2-0. At the knees, called strike 1.
talk about another guy that's just been a joy to watch, Ryan Ellis.
So fun.
Not, a huge guy. I mean, a little smaller, but this kid packs a punch. He had a home run in the first game, and he's got really good bat speed.
Yeah.
Drive the ball to all fields.
Throw back to first. Harrison's in safely.
I've really enjoyed watching Ryan Ellis, and he just seems like a really good clubhouse guy, too.
Oh, my God. He's the best.
We talked to Ryan Spolero on the broadcast. We got to interview him, and he said the same thing. He was teammates with him last year at St. Mary's, and
2-1 is a little low. 3-1.
pretty much everything that we're saying now is what Ryan Spolero had to say. Just a really good guy. I don't think I've ever seen the kid without a smile on his face. You love those guys. You really do.
And he really hasn't played in 2 years. He sat out most of last year with an injury, or 2 years ago with an injury. Sat out all of last year with an injury. 3-1. Harrison goes. Ellis takes inside, ball 4. Ryan Ellis had probably my favorite moment of the season last year. I think Alon would agree. Alon, I know you're not on the broadcast right now. You're going to be joining us later. Ellis had my favorite moment of the season last year against Lincoln. Yeah. Down 5-4. It was in the middle of this Crawdads extreme 8-game winning streak. Down 5-4 with 2 outs. 2 guys get on. Ellis pimps a 3-2 fastball over the right field fence. Just crushed it. And he knew it off the bat. Here's Brian Duroff. First pitch, Duroff takes down low. And that's the thing about Ellie. Like he's not, like we were talking about, he's only 5'7". He's not a big dude. But he has pop.
Yeah, and I love in the home run that he hit in game 1, he knew it.
Yeah.
And it was just watching a lefty know that they hit a home run is my favorite thing in baseball, by far.
1-0. Duroff takes down and in. I will say, I think Bronson Ballholm is not doing Chase Banks any favors right now with his work behind the plate. I think he's getting out of that crouch a little too early. He's not sticking any of these pitches. Again, I wasn't a catcher, so I don't know as well, but
It's tough, maybe catching this guy for the first time.
sure.
Funky delivery. It can be tough for the catcher, too. You can't only think about the hitters.
2-0 is up high, 3-0.
I've
And you're
caught-
completely right.
Yeah, I've caught a lot of guys that some guys out of their hand, it's just not natural. Yeah. It's not comfortable. It's a very uncomfortable feeling catching some guys, especially if you haven't caught them all that much, especially in game action. So yeah, it can be really tough.
2-1 Crawdads. We'll see if Duroff has the green light on 3-0. Banks spins back to second, but no throw. Duroff 0 for 1 today, grounded into a into a regular ground out, not a fielder's choice. 5-3 put out his last at bat. Was able to move Ellis over to second, and then with his speed took third. 3-0. Right down the pipe. Chase Banks, like we were talking about, not a hard thrower, but this looks softer than anything we saw last year with Banks. Just looks like he's laboring a little bit out there.
And that could be the effect or impact of a long season
Yeah.
at Sonoma State.
3-1, runner goes. Duroff pops it up, left side. It looks like it'll get out. Ballholm gives it a look, but it's foul. Duroff really just stuck the bat out there, and no reason to protect there. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so now the runners will both be moving with 2 outs. Ellis from first, Harrison from second. Ryan Brome waits on deck. Brian Duroff at the dish. 2-1. It adds lead, looking to extend.
Time to party. All the runners moving.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Banks comes set just above the hip. Runners go. The 3-2. High pop-up on the infield. The shortstop Jackson Forbes settles under it, makes the catch for out number 3. That adds Strand a pair on a hit. 2 runners left, no runs. We'll move top 3, 2-1. Crawdads lead. Top of the 3rd inning. No scoring for the Crawdads in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2-1, though, they lead here in the top of the 3rd. Nathan Hamburger. It's a good name.
Talk about something that I ate last night.
Same.
Hamburger.
Nice. At the Giants game.
I got to experience Oracle for the first time.
First pitch to Hamburgers, ball up high. Give me the review. That'll be our 3rd inning. Is
The review.
Carson's review of.
So, it's very nice. Is the first thing I have to say.
Wano's on the outside.
I'm a Padres fan, big Petco guy, season ticket holder. I always thought that was going to be my favorite Major League Baseball stadium. I don't know.
1-1 is beautiful slider on the outside.
Something about the McCovey Cove
Yep.
and just the oldish, like old school vibe of Oracle Park. And it's old school, but it's also very modern at the same time.
1-2. Fly ball to the right side, foul to get out of play.
And the surrounding, obviously in the middle of San Francisco, right on the bay, the surrounding buildings, something that I enjoyed a whole lot. I don't want to say it's better than Petco Park.
Oh, but I think you just did.
But I think it I think it is.
It is.
I think right now,
Slider outside. Maybe a little low. 2-2.
I think it's very close. Petco and Oracle tied at the top for me. And I've only been to 6 stadiums or so, but I mean, it was really, really nice.
2-2. Slider, high chopper, back to the bump. Over the head of Berggren. Harrison's going to charge, bare hand, no throw. Berggren just couldn't really back up and up quick enough to be able to make a play. And the speed of Hamburger gets him over at first. Hamburger and speed, not often something that go in the same sentence.
No, unless you talk about how
Like fast food.
Unless you talk about how fast I ate the hamburger last night at Oracle. I will say I ate it very quick. It was good. We can talk about the food a little bit
Yeah,
here.
please, because that's the best part of Oracle.
So the garlic fries, I've heard that they've just been raved about to me.
Yeah.
Really for the weeks, many people told me you have to have these.
First pitch to Jackson Forbes, misses up high.
And I won't lie, they were a little bit underwhelming.
Every now and then you get a bad batch, and I'll stand by that. I think they're really good.
It wasn't the best that I've ever had. I will say the Ghirardelli,
Yeah, elite.
that was special.
1-0, smash the first under the glove of Broman into right field. Over to cut it off in the corner is Brian DeRoff, but the shortstop Forbes, or the hitter Forbes, excuse me, is going to make his way to second with a no-out double. Second and third, no outs for the Cats, and they're in business.
Yeah, nice start here to this inning. Top of the third, trailing 1. Let's get the bats going. If you're the Mudcats, you like this start. But the Crawdads, not so much.
Definitely not. So Ghirardelli, you were a fan of?
Yep. I got the sundae, everything on it. 2 cherries, actually.
Nice.
I'm a big cherry guy. Yeah.
Maraschino cherry?
I like the fake cherries.
Yeah.
The fake cherries are
Sure.
good, and the warm chocolate with
Yep.
the cold ice cream. It's just classic.
Yep.
And then later in the game,
First pitch to ball home. Chopper to first. Brome charges. He's going to come to the plate. No throw. looked like he was ready to throw to the plate, just ate it.
Yeah, a little bit tough because I think that Hamburger was going to be safe even if he made that play. He realized that, looked back to first base, and nobody was there. I mean, of course, Ellis, it's a tough one because you have the pitcher Berggren crashing in, trying to get to the ball. It was Brome that ended up getting it. Berggren probably has to keep going and get to first base so Brome can flip it. Said there's nobody out. That's a little unfortunate miscue for the Dads.
Runners on the corners. Cats can start thinking big inning. First pitch to Russell is up high, 1-0. What's the call on that? Fielder's choice, single, base hit.
Base hit,
All right.
yeah.
So an RBI knock for ball home. In the book, I mean, that looks like a smash. Smash towards right field. Was hit so hard he could only get to first. 1-0 to Russell. Off the outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
I did have a s'more cookie
Nice.
down the first base line. That was
was it?
also that was elite.
Can I ask you how much money you dropped last night at Oracle?
It was a lot. I also got a hot dog pregame outside at one of the vendors.
2-0 swung on and missed. Did you get the bacon wrapped ones?
Yeah, the bacon
They were
wrap.
like $10.
Yeah, $10.
Those are so expensive.
It was, I was expecting like 6, not too bad.
Yeah.
But it was 10.
No, yeah.
I broke the bank a little bit last night. Probably not the best decision, but I feel like you're only in Oracle or only in San Francisco so much.
Chopper to short. Harrison's got it. Could be 2 to Ellis for 1. Ellis to first.
Got him.
Bottom of the third inning. If we were off for the top of the third, you missed some quality content, and I apologize for that. Here's Ryan Brome. First pitch. Brome smashes one to first, just foul.
It's questionably the best inning I've ever broadcasted.
Really?
Just on a conversational standpoint. I
Yeah.
really do. It was up there.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
We got to get you on more broadcasts. The 0-1 to Brome is fouled off to the left. That swing showed me a lot for Ryan Brome because it was a pitch that he saw late. He saw the break late and was still able to foul it off. That's what Ryan Brome, when he's at his best, when he's right, that's what he'll do. And no, it wasn't on 2 strikes. It wasn't to protect, but still a good sign. The 0-2. Low.
In case you missed it, we had the review of Oracle Park, my review, first time there. Austin, you had a very eventful night as well.
Did I ever? The 1-2 to Ryan Brome. It's down low, 2-2. I attended the Oregon baseball game last night. No, I did not fly home from then. I drove. The game ended at about 9. We were out of the parking lot by about 9:45. 2-2 to Brome. Smash to right field. Coming in is the right fielder in Delicato. And he makes the catch for out number 1. Brome hit it hard, but I think it ended up not being as hard hit as it looked off the bat, which we've seen a couple times today.
Yeah, a little bit early. Looked like it was off the end of the bat there, and that's kind of what happens. You got the top spin liner. Not a bad swing whatsoever. Just got to try and shoot that one into the left center gap, and that's what he'll do when he's hot.
Tyson Pointer with a smash down the left field line, but it'll go foul.
Tyson Pointer is the guy that I'm talking about when I say the Crawdads have batter's presence. He just, for whatever reason, a Julio Rodriguez type guy in the batter's box.
It's a really, really good comp. Fouls this one straight back. His dad, Tyson Pointer's dad, was a top 50 draft pick back in the 1990s. Pointer's on his way to that same trajectory. This kid's a future pro. The 0-2 is just a little low. He has a good eye. He's able to work good counts. He takes good swings. The 1-2 to Pointer. Swing and a miss.
That's a really, really good pitch right there.
Not the at-bat he wanted to have when I was saying good things about him, but
No, but hey,
beautiful changeup. Yeah.
Hitting's hard. That's a really good changeup. Starts at the knees, breaks down below the ankles, and I'll tell you, firsthand, tough to take those, especially when you're on the fastball so well.
Pointer, it's been a struggle to start the season. I'll tell you, he'll be fine. Joey Donnelly, first pitch on the outside, called strike 1. To go back to the Oregon baseball story, by the way, Oregon was down 8-0 after 2.5 innings, ended up coming back and winning. teams in the NCAA Super Regional are now 1-96. Donnelly swings through the fastball 0-2. 1-96 when trailing by 8 at any point during a Super Regional game. That won, of course, the Oregon Ducks last night.
Gosh, what was the atmosphere like? Because that's one of the best baseball games of all time.
Yeah, it was. I've never left a sporting event and been like, that is the peak of that sporting event that I've been to. That was the best game I've ever watched. It was such a cool environment. 1-2. Donnelly chopped it to first on 2 hops. A nice snag by Tandy, who runs it to the bag himself for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning and a nice job by Chase Banks. We'll head top 4. Alon Desai will be joining me on the broadcast here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network.
Top of the 3rd inning, there is a new pitcher on the mound for, excuse me, it's the 4th
You're already
inning.
0 for 1.
I'm already 0 for 1. It's the top of the 4th. I'm not used to this middle inning thing. But top of the 4th inning, there is a new pitcher for the Crawdads on the mound. It is Nate Nordell. First pitch from Nordell, swung on and missed right below the knees. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by NorCal Oaks. The NorCal Oaks is a nonprofit organization dedicated to developing skilled players who want to excel in the game of baseball and softball while attaining strong character and life skills in a fun and positive environment. Next pitch misses, the count 1-1. Nordell, a returner from last year. He's facing Brian Orancha. It's 7, 8, and 9 for the Mudcats. Orancha in Delicado and Hamburgers. Orancha hits this over to second. Ellis has it, up with it, throws on to first for round number 1. So it's good to be back, Austin. I'm so glad that you're back, more importantly.
It's great to be back. I'm loving it. I've never felt more like welcome to somewhere than coming here. It's nice being appreciated.
Are you saying you didn't feel those things last year?
No. I just wasn't like I was still new last year.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
I know Brome texted me after the first game. He was like, "That sucked. Our GM wasn't even there." And I was like, "Yeah, I try my hardest."
So Orancha now 1 for 2 as this pitch is fouled away. Orancha heading into that at-bat. He had just collected his first hit of the season, did the designated hitter. It's 0-1 to N. Delicado, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So, Austin, you are the general manager.
Technically,
Technically. This pitch misses low.
when it benefits me, I am.
When it benefits you.
Just kidding. Yes, I am the general manager now. It's been a fun time. I got to hire a phenomenal team of interns.
Yes, you did. There was a big write-up as well on the CCL website about the I think they called it, as this is swung on and missed, a dynamic duo between you and manager Brant Cummings.
Yeah, it's been a great time. Brant and I have Coach Cummings in this setting, and I have talked a lot this offseason. Now it feels like we're kind of starting to see the fruits, really.
1-2 pitch. This is hit foul down the right field line.
It's been cool. It's been a really good time. I like at this last year when I first got here, I really didn't know any of these players. I had seen a roster, but that was about it. But over these last couple months, just being on the phone with Brant and having him talk about, the players that he wanted, the players that were coming, it's been fun to watch.
1-2 pitch from Nordy, and checked out. Maybe a little bit of contact there, just enough to stay alive. Count will stay 1-2 with one away here in the top of the fourth. The Crawdads down by a run. It's 3-2 Mudcats. A Kenny DeSellis, sans Kenny DeSell Mudcats team. Very weird. He plays for the Bay Area Admirals now. The 1-2 pitch from Nordell. This is flied into right field, and making the catch there is Brian Duroff.
A little bit of an adventure.
Ooh, yeah, I was kind of holding my tongue there for a moment and making the catch, and Brian Duroff not used to playing in the outfield. Usually he's over at first base. Instead, it's Ryan Brome at first.
You're taught right. First step back. Brian Duroff did his first step, and then 2 or 3 more in, and then started kind of, I don't know, doing like a little jig backwards.
Well, it's not a conventional outfield.
No, it's 3 first basemen.
It's 3 first basemen there. As this pitch misses, the count 1-0 to Nathan Hamburger, who hit a single his last time up in the third. Later came around to score. Got his first hit of the summer for Mr. Hamburger. The 1-0 pitch from Nordell. That's right down the pipe. The count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, so not too often you see 3 first basemen out in the outfield. Donnelly over and left, of course. He already kind of knows how hard it is to traverse things out there in left field. 1-1 pitch, as this is fought off at the plate. The count 1-2. And correct me if I'm wrong, Austin. In left field, there's the elevation dip.
Yep.
So you're actually lower the deeper you're playing, and it's harder to see how the ball's coming off the bat over at home.
Yep. It's weird.
It's not regulation.
No.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. This is hit right back up the middle. Charging on it is the shortstop Harrison, who throws over to first, but it pulls Brome off the bag. And there's going to be a base runner for Solano.
Hit or error? What are we calling? Error?
That's going to be
I agree.
Yeah, it's going to be an E6. That's the official scoring there. That's a play that Harrison just has to plant his feet and make a good strong throw.
I think he wasn't expecting the full speed of Hamburger busting down the line.
Hamburger fast. I heard what you and Carson were saying earlier. The lineup card
Speedy dude.
turns over. It's Jackson Forbes. Forbes 1 for 2 today. First at bat was a 3 unassisted. He grounded out into. Swing and a miss there. Big hack there from Forbes.
And so Forbes, Andy, in the background, we can hear him talking about the batting stance, and he has that wide open stance. And what I've heard, Malcolm Moore does this for Stanford, and it just kind of lets a left-handed hitter get both eyes on the pitcher as he comes set.
A 1 pitch steal attempt here from Hamburger, and the throw is going to end up in center field, so Hamburger will have second base.
So it not only allows him to get both eyes on the pitcher as he comes set and really, lock in both of those eyes, but also then when he does torque to get back into when he starts swinging, he's able to dig that back leg in a little more and get more power out of that back leg.
See that open stance a lot of the time, too, with players who want to pull the ball as well. I'm not sure if that's exactly what Forbes wants to do, but it is interesting to see, especially from this vantage point, as the pitch here is right there on the outside black to the lefty batting Forbes, and the count 1-2 with 2 away and a runner in scoring position.
Looks to me like Nate's fastball is a little heavier than was last season. Just seeing him today, he looked more athletic. He looks like a different player than last year.
Looks a little stronger. Yep. The 1-2 pitch from Nordell. Forbes swings and misses. Sit him down at Nate Nordell. So that'll end at the top of the fourth. It is still 3-2 Mudcats, but the Crawdads have a chance to get back, tie things up here when they come up to bat when we return at the bottom of the fourth inning on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the fourth inning, still Chase Banks on the mound for the Mudcats, who lead this by a run. It is 3-2 Solano. Max Farfan in the batter's box. Going to see the pitch from Banks and swings right over the top of it. And the count 0-1. It's Farfan leading things off. Then it's Cole Fellows and Sam Gilliam. So 6, 7, and 8 for the Crawdads. The 0-1 pitch here, just finding the outer half, and the count 0-2. Farfan over at third base. We've seen him exclusively over there so far early this summer. The 0-2 pitch. Farfan tries to get into this, but fouls it. Ends up over near the dugout of Solano. No, Matt King is getting ready to make his comeback
Tomorrow.
as well. Yeah, tomorrow.
Be here bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. His flight comes in.
0-2 pitch on the way from Banks. This is hit softly on the ground over to the third base side. Russell has it up with it, throws on to first to get Max for the first out. Well, Farfan now 0 for 2 with a line out and a ground out, 5-3. That'll bring on Cole Fellows, who's looking to maybe get another double. I don't want to quite call it a hot streak, Austin, but he's collected a couple doubles the past week here.
He's got a good extra base hit swing. A lot of power.
Fellows takes the first pitch
Ooh.
low.
No. That was a strike.
That looked like a strike right in the happy zone, too, for Fellows. I'm very surprised he didn't pull the trigger.
I thought that was like middle.
1-0 here to Fellows from Banks. Banks delivers, and Fellows swings, gets over the top of the baseball, just fouls it right back into the dirt. The count 1-1. So, kind of talking during the break, Austin, as the Mudcats lead by a run. It's 3-2, and Banks has given up 3 hits and 2 runs. This is like his worst outing ever against the Crawdads so far.
And he's completely settled down after the first inning, because of course he has.
Banks, a tough one to go against. 1-1 pitch is hit high. This is going to end up in foul territory. Taking a glance at it, there's a left fielder, Garcia, but he just has to watch this end up in the brush. So the count 1-2. Perfect day here in Danville, California. Good amount of people as well. Probably in that 45 to 55 person range. Had a few promotions as well. Now we were serving mud cups. Banks has his sign, kicks and fires. This misses high and away. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kind of an interesting opening to the season. Usually the Crawdads see the Solano Mudcats earlier in the year. This time they saw another team from Solano County. Instead, it's the new CCL member, the Bay Area Admirals, as this is fouled back into the cage. That protects the grandstands here at Mustang Field.
With Casey Cummings, first of all, wearing number 4, having the hair tucked out of his hat, that's Jude Putz.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
He looks just like Jude.
And Jude Putz, obviously a member of last year's Crawdads team. Featured mainly at shortstop. 2-2 pitch. As this is lined through the 5-6 hole, that'll end up in left field. That'll be a base hit for Cole Fellows. So a base runner here with 1 away for the Crawdads. We'll see what Sam Gilliam can do. But yeah, Jude Putz, that's a pull there, Austin, because Putz didn't play a whole lot last year.
No. Did not play a ton. Left to go to Omaha to watch his brother in the College World Series, and then left early. But I want to go to that Fellows at bat because that's just a beautiful, beautiful piece of hitting. The ball tailing away from him, the two-seamer from Chase Banks, and he's able to just push it into left field, take it where it's thrown. We talk about the power from Fellows, but that just a lot of finesse as well.
And Fellows has some good wheels on him as well, I mean, which is not talked about, especially for a guy who either DHs or plays first base as his first pitch is a strike. But
no, he's a great athlete.
It just seems like this Crawdads team this year, Austin, there's speed. There's a lot of speed out there. Here's Sam Gilliam. Gilliam takes a swing at the 0-1 pitch, hits this on the ground to Forbes, the shortstop, who gets it to second for 1. The turn, is it in time? It will be. That's a twin killing there. And just masterful pitching there by Chase Banks. It is still 3-2 after 4. The Mudcats up by a run. Top of the 5th coming up when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. off the top of the 5th inning for Solano, the catcher number 4, Bronson Balholm. Top of the 5th inning, a lot to say here with Austin Oda. Crawdads down by a run. It's 3-2. It's going to be Balholm leading off. 2, 3, and 4 for the Mudcats. Still Nate Nordell on the mound for the Crawdads. First pitch to Bronson. Misses just outside to the lefty Balholm, and the count 1-0. After Balholm, it'll be Austin Russell and Jake Tandy. So far, Bronson Balholm is 1 for 2 as he pops this up into shallow left field. Coming in to make the catch is Joey Donnelly, 1 away.
You talk about the athleticism on this team, and one thing I noticed during the regular season, watching a solid amount of Cal baseball when they played Oregon, Joey Donnelly looks like a lot more athletic than he did last year. Where he's not known as a fast guy, but he just looks like a more complete athlete this year, and I think that play showed it a little bit. He's able to track the ball a little better in the outfield.
Russell, who's 0 for 2, steps in to take his cuts, and this pitch right in there for a strike. A little movement on that from Nate Nordell, but I agree, Austin. Donnelly is always, he's an imposing figure. He's pretty beefy, he's pretty built, but he looks more flexible, just like more mobile this season as this is hit on the ground over to third base side. Farfan has it, up with it, throws to first, but it's not going to matter as I believe that was foul all the way. And yes, it was. So the count 0-2, but he just looks like a more flexible player.
Should we shout out Daniel Rainey?
Oh, Daniel Rainey, our former GM, assistant GM, is listening to the game.
Podcast. Shout out.
Wow. Thank you, Daniel.
Oh, I miss that guy. Daniel should come. He lives like 3 minutes from here.
No, he could easily get on his bicycle or his big wheel or have his parents pull him in the big red wagon and get out here as this is popped foul out of play. The count stays 0-2. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Daniel pop up here one of these days.
Oh, he better. We have dirt cups today, right? Sophie, our PR intern, is giving them to the enemy.
Oh, as this pitch misses, the count a ball and 2 strikes. Russell, coming into this game, was hitting .222, so he's seen that average dip a bit now with a couple of at-bats already that haven't been productive as he fights this off, just staying alive. This is the Mudcats' third baseman. Hit into a double play in his last at-bat in the third. Good to see Nordell out there. Definitely looks healthy. Talking to him before his first outing a while ago as this pitch is popped up into left field. Some more work for Donnelly here as he just watches this one float into his glove for out number 2. But I know talking to Nate, he just said, I just want to make sure everything's ready to go before I really ramp it up, get more innings in, and really uncork the ball there on the mound.
He's a guy that started once last year for the Crawdads. He's got the ability to do so. I think when he's at his peak, that's probably what he wants to do. But really, for last year when he was a Crawdad, he was phenomenal. He was one of the better relievers, one of the more consistent relievers for Walnut Creek last season.
Yeah, 3.52 ERA in 11 games. So, he's definitely a good player as this pitch misses inside. The count 1-0 through 23 innings, 15 strikeouts, just 8 walks, and 20 hits in those 20 innings. 1-0 pitch as this is fouled back into the cage.
And unfortunately for Nate, I was ready for it, by the way. I'm not raising my hand. I'm just
No, I saw you raising your hand, and I'm like, Austin, remember, I know you were gone for a while, but there's still a cage here.
Last year for Nate, unfortunately, was the pitcher that the Crawdads were walked off on in the playoffs.
1-1 pitch to Tandy. Here it is. Tandy looking to line this back up the middle. A sliding stop there made by Harrison, but it ricochets off his body, so that'll be a single there for Tandy. Good effort on the play from Harrison. Harrison, a taller shortstop out there. Definitely has a few inches on Cameron Calvillo, but not able to make that play. So 2 away and a runner on here for the number 5 hitter, Noah Garcia, whose mother is in attendance. It's her birthday. We've got a couple of birthday moms here today. Noah Garcia's mom, as well as Ryan Brome's mother, Debbie. Ryan Brome for the Crawdads as this pitch is fouled off home plate, so we'll do it all over again. The count 0-1 to the Mudcats left fielder. Garcia was hit by a pitch back in the third. Crawdads down by a run with 2 away. It's 3-2 Solano. Something I wanted to ask you about, Austin, now that there are 2 teams in the Solano area, there's
I hate it.
debate. Okay, so I'm already
Oh, is
getting
that the answer?
Well, no, it's good to know that.
Yeah.
It is going to be a little confusing, the 0-1 pitch, as this misses away. The count even 1-1, but I was wondering coming into the season if we were going to see any cannibalization of the rosters now that there's 2 teams in Solano. We've already seen the best player for the Mudcats go over to the Bay Area Admirals and Kenny DeSalle. As here's the 1-1 pitch, getting under it and fouling it away. There's Noah Garcia.
Yeah, it's weird seeing Kenny DeSalle not in the Powder Blues.
Yeah, and it's weird seeing the Powder Blues with the gray pants, to be
We were
honest.
talking about that before the game today. Just doesn't look as good.
It does, and these are maybe the cleanest jerseys in all of the CCL. Even though I might be partial to that Crawdad red, is a pickoff move here over to first from Nordell, but nothing doing. Count stays a ball and 2 strikes. We're waiting for that 1-2 pitch with 2 away, and Nordy just got to find a way to buckle down. See if he tries to go inside here on Noah Garcia. And the 1-2 pitch, and just doing everything he can to stay alive is Garcia, just poking at that one.
Noah Garcia is a really good player. He had a phenomenal year at Laverne this season. Just battles. Gets on base a ton.
And
Got the free passes twice as much as he struck out last summer.
seeing that ball like maybe Ryan Brome did last summer for the Crawdads. The 1-2 pitch, as this is hit right over to Harrison. It's short. He's up with it and just jogs over to the second base bag instead of electing to make a throw for out number 3. So a good job by Nordell to make sure that the runner on first in the form of Tandy doesn't turn into any runs for the Mudcats, and it is still 3-2. Bottom of the 5th coming up when we return here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 5th inning, Crawdads trail by a run. It is 3-2 Solano Mudcats. We're going to take a look around the league.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it, Austin.
CCL out-of-town scoreboard. This look around the CCL is brought to you by American Stage Tours. American Stage Tours, small enough to care and large enough to compete. I'll let you call the first pitch. I'm not going to take that from you.
Let's see this first pitch here from Banks, showing bunt there. Whoa. It's not something you usually see out of the Crawdads, but we've already seen Cam Calvillo lay down a bunt a few days ago over at Solano Community College. It's Harrison up at bat right now, the man who made the last out in the top half of the 5th. Harrison goes after this pitch, but pops it up foul behind the grandstand.
No games going on right now outside of the one you're listening to. At 4 p.m., the Academy Barons play at the Conejo Oaks. The Oaks opening day. Slow Blues at Santa Barbara Foresters. Healdsburg hosts the West Coast Kings. Lincoln and Sonoma play in Sonoma.
0-2 pitch. This is fouled down the third base line.
And the OC Riptide head to Arroyo Seco to play the Saints.
That Lincoln Potters versus Sonoma Stompers game, they kind of got a natural rivalry because they're so
Did you hear
close
about the
to
game
each other.
yesterday?
Which one?
The Lincoln-Sonoma
The
game.
Lincoln-Sonoma game? You'll have to enlighten me, Austin, as this is ripped into left field on a line, and that'll be a leadoff single for the Crawdads.
Try the longest game in Lincoln Potter history.
Oh, yes, I do
Was
know
that
about
yesterday? I
this.
think that
This
was
was, I believe this was either yesterday or
Might have been 2 days ago.
2 days ago, and I listened to the call. Michael Barabal had the call for the Sonoma Stompers. That game went 5 hours and about 4 minutes, right around
What was ours in Sonoma? How long did that one go last year?
The one that got called
Yeah.
and we had to continue it, I think that ended up going about 3.5 hours,
That's
maybe
it?
3 hours and 50 minutes, and then we ran out of power for the lights. They didn't pay to have them on until midnight as this pitch misses low. The count 1-0 to Ryan Ellis. But I guess if you combine both times for that game, Austin, probably pretty close to that 5-hour mark because they had to come back to Monte Vista to finish it.
Well, if you have to combine it, I mean, it's, 2 weeks? Longest game in history.
Longest game ever. 1-0 pitch. That just kisses the outside edge for a strike. The count 1-1. But yeah, I listened to Michael Barabald's call, and I was checking my social media on my phone, and I see a post that says, "Join me for the 15th inning, ... I went, this can't be real. And I logged in as this pitch is hit over to a leaping Forbes, who cannot make the catch, ends up feeling the ball, throwing it back to second. Amazing that Forbes, with his small stature, was able to climb the ladder there and even get a glove on it. But that'll be back-to-back hits for the Crawdads, and they're in business with a runner in scoring position and a runner over at first. But just to finish that up, I saw the post from Michael on social media, and I went, I guess if it's 15 innings, I got to at least listen to it. I'm laying in bed, not doing anything else.
Yeah. How was it?
It was good. I heard the end of the game, and I could, just hear some of the there was some fatigue there after a 5-hour ball game. So here's Brian Duroff. Pitch to Duroff. Bounces up to the catcher, ball home.
I think for me, my personal fatigue is going to set in as soon as this game is over.
So
I feel good right now. I feel great. I felt okay during the drive yesterday. I slept for about 3 or 4 hours on the drive.
well, you say the drive yesterday.
To the drive this morning.
You ended up getting here, what, at
8, 7, 8.
7 a.m., 7, 8 a.m. So you drove through the night from Oregon after being, at one of the greatest sporting events of the year, I would say, a massive comeback, a comeback like no other in college baseball and tournament history for sure. And then you got to sit in the car with that for 8 hours and get back here to Danville.
Yeah. I didn't even have to go just to Danville.
1-0 to Duroff as he swings through it. The count 1-1.
Because I'm in San Jose, so we drove all the way to San Jose, which tacks on another hour-ish.
Lovely.
And actually, I had to drive to Redwood City and then drive from there to San Jose because we had to pick up my mom's car. So it was we were all over the place.
But you had to be back for Crawdads baseball.
Oh, my God. I wasn't going to miss it.
Dedication, 1-1 pitch. This is in there. Maybe a low strike call there from home plate umpire Ron Masso. We've seen some
It's been an inconsistent zone.
disapproval from both dugouts so far. More chirping from the Mudcats than the Crawdads. Manager Cummings likes to keep his guys, more on the respectful side as this is hit high into left field. Coming over to make the catch is Garcia. One away. Runners have to hold their positions, and that'll bring on Ryan Brome. So right now, Brian Duroff, who came into this ballgame hitting over 400 in CCL play, is now 0 for 3. He just hasn't been able to really barrel anything up.
Left 2 on base. His last at bat, left 2 on base. This at bat, the first inning, left a runner on base. So he just has not been his day. Coming off, one of the best JUCO seasons of all time.
Ryan Brome in the batter's box. Banks looks back to second. And the righty fires to the lefty Brome, and Brome takes. Ooh, Brome looks back at Ron Masso there. And it's called a strike, so liberal strike zone today, the count 0-1.
It's not a strike.
Banks
Sorry, Ron.
sets. Kicks and deals. Brome tries to put a charge into this baseball. Goes a long way, but foul into the bramble and end up somewhere near the running trail down there in foul territory. So the count 0-2. Brome, such an important part of this team last season, really trying to get things going this summer here early. This pitch is lined down the third base line and just inches foul. If that stays fair, I think that might clear the bases.
Yeah, it's a very Ryan Brome swing.
He's not afraid to go to the opposite field, and
I think he's afraid to go to the pull side. He loves that opposite field. Can you even picture Ryan Brome pulling a ball?
Pulling a ball, becoming an exclusively pull hitter, pull heavy hitter? No, I cannot. As Banks fires, Brome takes this one a ball all the way, no question about that. So there will be a ball on the scoreboard now. The count is 1-2 with 2 away. Over at second, it's Ryan Ellis. Or excuse me, Griffin Harrison. And Ryan Ellis over at first. Pitch misses high. The count 2-2.
Just saying, if Ryan Brome is taking a pitch, it's a ball most of the time. He knows.
He had the most selective eye, maybe in the CCL last year, definitely on the Crawdads.
I mean, we would say it. Death taxes Ryan Brome taking walks.
And I was expecting to say that on a few of these broadcasts early here, but he's only walked one time in official competition so far, as this pitch misses low and in.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was his first at bat that he took a walk.
It was his first at bat, but then he's combined that with a handful, literally a handful of strikeouts, 5 of them. So the count 3-2 here, and this is kind of the situation we were so used to seeing Brome in last season. Austin, a payoff pitch from Banks coming up. Here it is. Brome takes. And I do not believe that hit him on the shoe top. We've already seen a few players hit on the shoe tops here early this summer, so just a ball there, but it'll be all the same. The bases are now loaded. So, Austin, say it again.
Okay, it's Death Taxes and Ryan Brome taking walks. He needed us to be here. He needed the 2 of us to be on the call together for him to tap into the 2022 magic.
So Harrison now over at third. Ellis moves up to second. Brome at first. And here's Tyson Pointer.
The feeling Tyson Pointer is about to do something big.
Pointer, I think he has all the tools, just needs them to come together. Pointer hits this into right field. Moving back on it is Indelicato at the track, but that'll be deep enough to score Harrison, and he will cross home plate. This game is now tied 3-3. Ryan Ellis very smartly and attentively tags up from second over to third, so runners on the corners, and that's a tie ball game.
Didn't do as big as I thought he was going to, but still crushed that ball. And with the way the ball is playing today, where it seems like everything's kind of just dying, to be able to have that for Tyson Pointer, it's a really nice at bat. Took it the other way with a lot of power.
Pointer picks up his second RBI of the summer.
Third. Had one today.
Oh, did have one actually, yeah, on that 6-3, so that'll be his third. He's got a 2 RBI day. Came into the game with just 1 RBI, so maybe a candidate for player of the game if Crawdads are able to score a few more. Ball and no strikes here to Joey Donnelly. This pitch misses low. The count 2-0 to Joey Donnelly. Donnelly a walk in the first. That was retired 3 unassisted in the third. So he's 0 for 1 with a walk. Donnelly smashed a ball in the first game here this season at Monte Vista out of the park. But he had another one that he hit very far foul, as this is a laser down the right field line. Ends up near the bullpen of the Crawdads. But he had one that he couldn't keep fair down the right field line. And talking to him, he said, that's the best ball I've hit in a while. He said, in BP game action, he said, that one, I wish I could have kept that fair because it looked like it would have traveled about 455 feet. 2-1 pitch to Donnelly. Donnelly takes all the way. The count 3 balls and a strike with 2 away runners on the corners. Crawdads threatening here if they can get something out of Donnelly. Any hit will score the go-ahead run.
And this now officially the most earned runs that Chase Banks has given up in a game against the Crawdads.
At 3.
Yeah.
Donnelly takes here. And the bases will be loaded.
Already some action in the Mudcats bullpen. Bases are loaded. Banks is not a guy that walks guys. He traditionally doesn't walk many guys, but already 2 walks this inning. Donnelly took one earlier in the game. Ellis took one earlier in the game. So the 4 walks that Chase Banks has given up today, that's how many he's given up in his career against the Crawdads coming into this game.
Now we're going to see Kyle Stafford, the head coach for the Mudcats, walk out there and have a chat with his righty, but 2 walks here so far in this bottom of the 5th. One to Ryan Brome, one to Joey Donnelly. No surprise about the Brome walk. Donnelly did a very good job of staying disciplined, and That's just how good Banks has been, Austin, against the Crawdads. He just doesn't. He's stingy. He doesn't give anything up to this team.
No, there's some Crawdads killers traditionally within this Solano team. We talked about Kenny DeSell, who, of course, no longer with the team, with Bay Area now, but he was a Crawdad killer.
And he's off to a phenomenal start this season. Kenny DeSell is. And DeSell gets it done in an interesting way. He doesn't have a lot of power. He just puts the ball in play and uses his legs. So here is Max Farfan, number 6 man in the lineup, third baseman today for the Crawdads. As this pitch perfectly placed on that knee-high outside portion of home plate. The count 0-1. Farfan 0 for 2 today. Hit a ball hard in the first, but lined out. Farfan gets under this, a big pop-up on the infield dirt on the right side. Taking a look at it is the first baseman, Tandy. He has it for the third out. So the Crawdads do tie things up, and they threaten with bases loaded once again, but not able to get that go-ahead run. However, they do get a run in the bottom of the 5th. It is now 3-3, whole new ball game. Top of the 6th coming up when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Top of the 6th inning, it'll be Nico Castrillo leading things off for the Mudcats. Is Castrillo, Orancha, and then Indelicado. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Crawdads. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by NorCal Oaks. The NorCal Oaks is a nonprofit organization dedicated to developing skilled players who want to excel in the game of baseball and softball. So that new pitcher is Ryan Featherston, the Oregon Duck. The righty Duck deals and misses high and in. The count 1-0. So from your future alma mater, Austin, you haven't graduated yet.
Hopefully.
But hopefully. Get out of here. This pitch misses. Oh, it looked like it was framed back inside, and indeed it was by Sam Gilliam and called a strike. So buying his pitcher a strike there is the catcher Gilliam. The 1-1, same exact spot. And the count 2-1. So that one.
Don't know where that one missed. That one looked more like a strike than the one before.
One was a little closer. 2-1 pitch here. Ryan fires. This is a little chopper right back to him. And instead it'll be Gilliam who fields it off the hop on the grass and makes the play over at first. So good job by Sam not forcing his pitcher to bend down and take it. Just
Well, and also Gilliam has his momentum going more towards that way, where he's able to face the first baseman and make a straight up throw, where Featherston would have to kind of jab a little bit around.
have to bend down and then pivot and
Yeah.
try to chop the feet a little bit, make that throw. So Castrillo still hitless this summer. He's 0 for 3 now. Here's Brian Orancha. Was an RBI already, a hit and an RBI today. He's 1 for 2. So he fouls this away, and the count 0-1. We're talking to Mr. Spolero down there, one of the pitchers for the Crawdads, who is working the velo gun right now as this pitch misses low and away. The count 1-1. And he was mentioning that Featherston can get all the way up to 94.
It's impressive.
1-1 pitch. Here it is. This is fouled back into the cage.
And by the way, perfect name for a duck. Featherston?
Featherston.
Featherston? It's a good duck name.
It is. Featherston, the man from Oregon, or soon to attend Oregon, punches out Brian Arancha, who is not enthused about that call from Ron Masso, but he's going to have to take that walk of shame over to the Solano Mudcats dugout. Beautiful sequence of pitching there from Ryan Featherston.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too pumped about that one too, but for Featherston doing a good job of taking advantage of that expanded strike zone that he knows about and finding that slider on the outside.
The zone has been the same for both teams today. Featherston has definitely taken note of it. He's using it to his advantage. Featherston winds and deals. Instead, this comes in, not hitting the zone and hitting the batter Indelicato right on the knee.
It's got to hurt.
Indelicato taking a ginger jog down there over to first, and I hope he's okay. That was coming in with some heat, too. Oh, here's the number 9 hitter,
Center fielder Nathan Hamburger.
Nathan Hamburger. Runner on. It's 3-3 here in the top of the 6th. Game all tied up. Featherston delivers, misses with the breaking ball low and away. Trying to work that slider from inside to out. But the height on it, not quite where he wanted it to be, or didn't bait out a swing at least. The 1-0 pitch.
Nice.
Gets a check swing, and he does go around, does Nathan Hamburger. Hamburger's 1 for 2 today. Did get on with an E6 back in the 4th. Ended up taking a free bag. Came around to score in the 3rd. 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball. Perfect. No qualms about that. And the count 1-2.
Fastball just looks different coming out of his hand. Like that's a pro-ready fastball. He's ready for the college game. He does not look like an 18-year-old on that bump.
Incredible he can reach those velocities as young as he is, as this bounces up to the catcher, Gilliam. But you're right, Austin. There's some definite pop into the mid of the catcher, and just the way he releases it. It's compact. There's not a whole lot of extra motion there. He's just gripping it and ripping it. A runner on, 2 away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Deep breath there from Featherston. Kicks the leg and fires and gets his man swinging. Now Nathan Hamburger, 3rd out there. Strikeout from Featherston. Pretty dominant stuff there for Featherston. He did hit Indelicato with a pitch, but he registers 2 strikeouts in his first outing so far as a Crawdad. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Still 3-3 here from Monte Vista High School in Danville, California. More Crawdads baseball coming up when we return on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, still Chase Banks on the mound for the Solano Mudcats. It is all knotted up at 3 each here. 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors so far for the Mudcats. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Crawdads. Here's Cole Fellows, who steps in and takes the first pitch high in the count 1-0. It'll be 7, 8, and 9, bottom third of the order for the Crawdads. Fellows, Gilliam, and then Harrison. Banks working quickly. The swing, this is hit high into center field. In his tracks is Hamburger, and Hamburger has it in the left center gap for out number 1. So, Austin, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad I was able to do these middle 3 with you. A little rusty at first, but
not done yet.
Getting back into the swing of it, and it's just been fun. It's really great to see what you've built now as the GM here, and just the sponsorship deals and just all the things that you're executing now with your new team of interns. It just looks like it's in great hands, that you guys are going to have a great season. Pitch here, getting under it, is Sam Gilliam, and in shallow center, charging on to make the catch is Hamburger. So 2 quick outs there for the Crawdads, and Hamburger making both plays.
I appreciate that. It means a lot. I'm super thrilled about all of the interns that we have on the team this summer.
You should be. I mean, what manager Brant Cummings is building down on the field, and then what you're building here more on the operational and broadcast side, it's definitely going to help set a standard for the rest of the CCL. At least that's what I see. Griffin Harrison in the batter's box. Breaking ball misses high and in. Harrison 1 for 2 so far. Had a hit in the 5th, came around to score. Banks winds, fires, misses high once again. Now Harrison came into this game batting .333, has been very productive for the Crawdads in that 9 spot.
Yeah, he struggled early in the season, but he's really starting to see the ball better.
2-0 pitch to Griff, and Griffin Harrison takes it for a strike in the count, 2 balls and a strike.
He's a guy that hit a pair of home runs this last year at Sac State. He's got a little pop in him.
When you can get that production out of the bottom of your lineup, every manager loves to have that. Harrison takes a bit at this pitch, but fouls it back into the cage, and the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Someone has got to break the ice here and get something going. The Crawdads had a chance with the bases loaded earlier, and going down and chasing this one in the dirt is Griffin Harrison. So Chase Banks, even though this is the most runs he's ever given up against the Crawdads, is able to have a very good bottom of the 6th, retiring all 3 hitters. It is still 3-3. I'm Alon to say thank you so much, Austin Oda, for letting me come on, and you guys are going to have a heck of a season. Top of the 7th coming up. Austin back on the call when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network.
Jackson Forbes leads off the top of the 7th inning. Big shout out to Alon Desai for hopping on the call. Ryan Featherston's first pitch of the 7th is a fastball lined into right field. Coming in is Brian Duroff, makes the catch for out number 1. Welcome back, Carson Mercier, to the broadcast.
Thank you, thank you.
Missed you. It's too long.
I was in
Just kidding, Alon was great. That's nothing against Alon.
unfamiliar position for me on the auxiliary. Got the ballpark aux. was nervous. Nerve-wracking experience
do?
for me. I don't know.
I
gotta
thought
go-
you did well, actually.
I got to go ask the guys after
Yeah.
the game.
Here's
Inning-
Bronson ball home.
Innings 3 through 6. Rate the Ox.
First pitch, ball home, squares to butt, pops it foul. See, that angle of a ball is the only way we'll catch one this summer.
And that one was coming in hot, so I'm not sure if I'm trying to get in the way of that.
Have you ever caught a ball during a broadcast?
Never during a broadcast.
Okay, you caught a couple yesterday during the Giants game, yeah?
That's correct.
The 0-1 to ball home on the outside with the fastball. Featherston sat 89-90 in his first outing, or in his first inning, I should say. But Ryan Spolero informed us he gets a little hotter as the game goes on.
And that's sometimes just how it goes.
Yeah.
You get an inning, you get a little bit more loose, a little more comfortable.
0-2 is a little high,
And you can
especially with
just,
starters usually.
yeah, you can just free up. And Featherston, I talked to him the other day, wants to be a starter. Will most likely, obviously, come out of the bullpen his freshman year at Oregon.
1-2 off the outside and low, 2-2. But Oregon, what they've done in recent weeks is go to those freshmen. They started with 2 more established arms, but started a freshman yesterday, starting a freshman tonight. 2-2 from Featherston, excuse me. Chopper to first on 2 hops. Ryan Brome goes to a knee. Underhand feeds to the covering Featherston for out number 2.
PFP's done to perfection. Ground ball first base way, and Featherston bounces off the mound like a cat to first base in time.
Third baseman Austin Russell.
We'll bring up Austin Russell. Third baseman 0 for 3 today. The Mud Cups, or the Dirt Cups, are happening. First pitch to Russell is a fastball beautifully placed on the outside edge. 0-1.
Never had a mud cup.
What?
Yeah.
Did you have a childhood? the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good fastball again. 0-2.
I will say I'm excited.
What isn't there to like about them? It's pudding, Oreos, and gummy worms.
Sounds like everything I need right now.
0-2. Curveball froze him. Strike 3 called. Man, Ryan Featherston, he is feeling it. We'll head bottom 7 after we stretch. 3-3 the score. Ryan Ellis leading off the bottom of the 7th inning, all knotted up at 3. Really good, fun first game to be able to call. Ryan Ellis having a good game. 2 for 2, a walk, a run scored. Pretty perfect leadoff day. Brian Arancha, the new pitcher, first pitch to Ellis is just a little inside. Called the ball. Pitch that I think has been there today.
It's been a little bit all over the place.
Yeah. 1-0. Ellis takes a fastball on the outside. Good spot from Arancha for both of his first 2 pitches.
Yeah, in, out. That's a good way to command the zone. We could get both sides.
Ellis lines this one into center field. Coming in, Hamburger will make the catch with the left hand for out number 1.
It's a good swing right there from Ryan Ellis. Right back up the middle. Right back to where it came from. Good wood. Just a little bit unfortunate. That's a game of baseball for you.
Isn't it relieving being able to say Goodwood?
It is. It is. Justin.
Right fielder Brian Duroff.
Oh, okay.
First pitch to Brian Duroff is smashed to third and off the glove of third baseman into left field. We're going to give him a hit, and that's going to be our Meadowlark Dairy token winner. Excuse me. Choked a little bit there. Our first official Meadowlark Dairy giveaway of the season.
Thank you for the free ice cream to a lucky fan who couldn't use a little bit of ice cream.
I could use some ice cream right
I
now.
agree. Not exactly ice cream weather per se, but
It's always ice cream weather.
it's always, yeah.
Being in Eugene year-round, it's always ice cream weather. Here's Ryan Brome. Brome having a good day. A walk, a double, an RBI, a steal. First pitch, Brome, a high chopper back to second. Over to get it, Castrillo, and he flubs it. No play.
Oh, thank you.
Is it Dirt Cups time for us?
It's Mud Cup time in the
Is
broadcast.
it Dirt Cup or Mud Cup? What's the final? Oh, so it's mud if it's vanilla, is what I'm hearing. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Shout out our PR intern, Sophie Arroyo, the greatest. Sophie, you want to say hi to the broadcast?
Hello.
2 runners on for the Crawdads.
Mud Cup. It's good.
Yeah. Here's Tyson Pointer. Hit a ball to the wall his last time. Sack fly. Runners on first and second, 1 out. First pitch to Pointer. Off the outside, gets past the catcher. Ball home, all the way to the backstop. Both runners will advance, and Tyson Pointer a chance to do some big damage and give the Crawdads the lead.
Yeah, that's actually really big. Now there's 2 runners in scoring position, and this opens up an opportunity to give the Crawdads a two-run lead here. Base hit would have just scored 1 if that ball was properly blocked, but instead, no, Tyson Pointer has a chance to do some damage.
Already 2 runs batted in today. 2 of the 3 RBI for the Crawdads off the bat of Tyson Pointer. The 1-0. Off the outside and low, 2-0. If he gets a pitch to hit, I'm scared for that baseball. Two balls, no strikes, 1 out. Duroff on second, a big lead. Or Duroff off third, excuse me. 2-0. Line straight back.
Said it a few times throughout the broadcast this season. That was a G-hack right there by Tyson Pointer.
G-hack.
Just
Haven't heard that saying before.
let it go. That's
Okay.
it.
I like it.
That's one of those swings where he's not trying to line one up the middle, a base hit.
2-1. High fly ball. Medium deep center field. This should be deep enough. Duroff tags off of third. Hamburger makes the catch in center. Throw is going to go to the cutoff man, the shortstop. And for the 3rd time today, Tyson Pointer has driven in a run. The Crawdads retake the lead.
Yeah, it looks like he is a little frustrated. I think he might think that he missed one there, but hey, it gets the job done, scores a run, gives the Crawdads the lead back. It's been a while since they've had the lead. And yeah, G-hack, just big swing.
I love it.
Pointer takes big swings.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Looks like Ryan Troy getting loose in the Crawdads bullpen as Joey Donnelly steps to the plate. Donnelly, 2 walks, grounded out to first, so officially 0 for 1. Four to 3 Dads. First pitch, Donnelly takes at the knees, called strike 1.
Surprised to see him taking there. I feel like a lot of lefties, they get that pitch at the knees and they can just drop the barrel, drive the ball. Looked like a hittable pitch. I've seen Donnelly in batting practice. He does hit that inside low pitch very well. So taking there for whatever reason.
The 0-1. Swings through a good changeup off the outside, 0-2.
Yeah, you go in and then out with the changeup, breaking away from a lefty. That's a really good pitch and a really tough one to lay off too.
I'm so excited to dig into this Mud Cup.
Mine's more than halfway gone.
I don't want the inning to end, but the 0-2. Fouled. No Mud Cup for me.
Not yet.
Okay, so the players get the chocolate ones. I would trade my vanilla one for a chocolate one. We got vanilla ones. It's good. It's good. I'm a chocolate pudding any day over vanilla pudding.
You know what? The Oreo kind of like contradicts the vanilla, and
Yeah.
it gives you just a good taste.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'm not opposed to this at all.
It's hard to oppose it. It's just straight sugar. The 0-2. Donnelly, a high fly ball. Pretty deep left center, but Hamburger in the left center field alleyway is going to cut it off and make the catch for out number 3. Dad's score a run. Tyson Pointer's 3rd RBI of the day. It'll be Ryan Troy headed to the mound when we come back here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network. This pitching change called to the bullpen. I was close. I called to the bullpen is brought to you by the NorCal Oaks. The NorCal Oaks, a nonprofit organization dedicated to developing skilled players who want to excel in the game of baseball and softball while attaining strong character and life skills in a fun and positive environment. First pitch from Ryan Troy is a fastball inside 1-0.
Yeah, well, look for the right-hander to bounce back big. He's got the good stuff, but the command wavered in his last appearance. Blew a 7-5 Crawdad lead. The opener.
1-0, hard fastball off the outside.
It was the CCL opener. And a tough one, hit 3 straight. Gave up a couple singles, and that was the day.
4-3 Crawdads lead. Troy trying to keep that lead, the 2-0. Fastball just a little high. When you're not throwing strikes, the umpire's not going to call those borderline ones if he's not looking for them.
Yeah, but, I mean, again, the zone has wavered.
True.
That has been called a strike today. A little unfortunate for Troy.
The 3-0. Right down the pipe. Called strike 1.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, the fastball, the slider, the changeup, he's got a good 3-pitch mix. It's all about how he can command it. When he was on at Santa Barbara City College, he was on this year.
Line drive through the left side, for a base hit. Jake Tandy, just a great day. 3 for 3, a hit by pitch and a run scored.
Have yourself a day, young fella. Yeah, this is a good day at the ballpark.
That'll bring up Noah Garcia on his mom's birthday. Not a ton of success today. Reached twice on a fielder's choice, hit by pitch, also grounded out. 4-3 Crawdads. Ryan Troy on the bump. First pitch to Garcia. Fastball up and away. It's a heavy, heavy fastball from Troy. Looks like good movement on it.
Yeah, it's got the sink, and he can play it really well off of the slider, which moves a ton into a lefty.
1-0. Fly to the left side, foul.
Again, it's just all about command. Command, command, command. If he can get that down, he could have a bright future in the game of baseball. His brother, Christopher Troy,
His brother's a dog.
in the Double-A affiliate of the Boston Red Sox, actually just got called up. UCSB Gaucho.
1-1, chopper to first, Brome. Scoops it, throws the second one. Harrison's going to look back to first, but no play. A nice job by Brome to pick that short hop and a good throw to second.
Yeah, Brome made that look a lot, and I mean a lot easier than it was. The high hop, fielding it on the bounce, down low, and spinning, throwing to second. Yeah, it's a really athletic play by Ryan Brome.
Here's Nico Castrillo. Still 0 for 3 today, 0 for 5 on the summer. Good to get that first out of the summer for Ryan Troy. First pitch, fastball on the outside. Again, that's a call that I think he's going to get more when he's finding the strike zone more.
Yeah, and that one, I mean, I had a pretty good angle at it. It was on the chalk of the left-handed batter's box, but hey, struggling to find the zone, you'll take that for sure.
The 0-1. Same spot, this time with a slider called strike 2.
I love that pitch mix, that sequence right there. You go to the fastball on the outer half, call to strike, go right back to it, but break off a slider. There's no chance anyone's going to hit that, and you're getting the strike call.
0-2. Slider comes in and hits him.
Yep, that's been the struggle, the release point. He hit 3 guys. I believe they were all fastballs in his first outing. This one there, kind of got it, maybe didn't hold on to it for just long enough, and it's kind of what'll happen.
What I do love about Ryan Troy, though, is he's keeping his energy up, and he recognizes that it's a struggle of his. He's got that big smile on his face, and he's just going to come back and try to get the pitcher now, Brian Arancha. First pitch, slider and a beauty, called strike 1.
Yeah, nice little get me over on the first pitch of the at-bat. I mean, you can see it. It's got movement. It's a good pitch.
The 0-1. Fastball at the knees, called strike 2. When he's been in the zone today, it's been pretty perfect.
Yeah, I like this version of Ryan Troy a lot more than what we saw that first time, and I think this is extremely encouraging. I mean,
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
even to come on and kind of break that streak.
0-2. Slider breaks into the strike zone, called strike 3.
Yeah,
Brian Arancha does not like it, but that is right there.
that was right down the middle, and first strikeout of the year for Ryan Troy. And take a deep breath. That's, I mean, I can tell you that's relieving.
Right fielder, Braden Indelicato.
It's one he needed. 3-pitch, see you later. Here's Braden Indelicato. 0 for 2, hit by a pitch his last at-bat. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. First pitch, slider right there.
He's got that thing working today. Looks like a frisbee out of the hand, moving a whole bunch.
Oh, 1. Fastball at the knees, called strike 2.
And bust him inside with the heater. Start him off with the slider, go to the fastball, in on the hands. That's a nice pitch.
The 0-2. High chopper towards first. Brome over to get it. Will scoop it underhand to Troy. He's not in time. Runner beats it out. Troy just didn't get over quick enough. Noah Garcia over at third had a chance to go score and ended up stopping.
It's a really tough play. It's the slow chopper, and it's tough to get over there as a pitcher for sure. And Troy looked like he was running pretty hard trying to get to first base and just couldn't get there in time. Throw maybe drew him off the bag just a little bit.
So now the inning extends. It'll go to Nathan Hamburger, who's 1 for 3, reached twice on an error and a single. First pitch, slider just off the outside corner. 1-0. Slider off the inside, gets past. Oh, no, called strike on the inside.
Yeah, that was it.
It looked like a strike.
It was a strike, and maybe a mix-up there between Troy and Gilliam, the catcher. Obviously, no pitch com. They're doing everything by hand, so maybe a mix-up. Maybe one just got away from Troy a little bit, but nevertheless, they'll take the strike.
The 1-1. Fastball just a little high.
Not a bad pitch there whatsoever. I mean, you get that fastball. If you get the call, great. If not, you can still go back up there with the fastball, or you can break off a slider that's been pretty good for Troy today.
The 2-1. Slider popped up. This should do it. Ryan Brome in foul territory with his feet planted in foul territory makes the catch for out number 3, and a good job by Ryan Troy to bounce back and shut down the Solano Mudcats. We'll head bottom 8. Crawdads clinging to a one-run lead here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-3 the score. That adds lead by 1. Max Farfan, Cole Fellows, Sam Gilliam. First pitch. Down low, 1-0.
Let's add some insurance here. 1 run. Yeah, it's a lead, but a 3 or 4, maybe even 5-run lead. Yeah, that feels a little bit better.
I limit it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dads can score in bunches.
They have.
1-0. Farfan takes a slider that's broken into the strike zone by Arancha. For a guy that started at DH, he looks good as a two-way guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And back to the scoring in bunches points.
Farfan takes down low, 2-1.
Won't give the exact numbers. Don't want to give it away just yet. I think I'll save that for tomorrow's broadcast. But the Crawdads do have 2 innings in which they score the most. And those 2 innings are, well, that's most of their production.
2-1 is a swing and a miss. 2-2.
And it's interesting. They do not hit a starting pitcher the first time around well at all. It's very interesting.
Okay, I like it. 2-2. Slider low. And you think about it, Miguel Ramos dealt the first time through.
Exactly.
Nick Gonzalez was his first name.
Yep.
Played well the first time through. Really, Chase Banks was the first guy that they saw well in the first inning.
And after that, nothing.
3-2. Popped foul. Chase Banks was once again terrific, even after struggling in the first.
It's just fun to watch a pitcher. If you're a baseball fan, you liked what Chase Banks did today. It was fun to watch. He was in the zone, competing. I mean, Crawdads put put on too early. They could easily tack on 4, 5, 6 in the next.
Farfan takes ball 4 inside. Nice at bat by Max Farfan to reach base for the first time today.
The Crawdads could have added, a few more runs, keep that pressure on, but no, he bared down and pitched deep into the game. The deepest any pitcher of any team that we've seen, including the Crawdads, has gone. And tip your cap. Good day at the ballpark.
I'm very excited to get to the point in the summer where the Crawdad starters go 4, 5, 6 innings. Here's Cole Fellows. Fellows, 1 for 3, a pair of flyouts to center and a single. First pitch. Fellows chops it towards the Crawdads dugout. Sam Gilliam is over to retrieve it.
I like this approach from the Crawdads. Attack early, attack often. If you get that first pitch, you think you can drive it, why watch it?
No balls and a strike. Pickoff move. Had Farfan leaning over at first, but he's just back in safely. Farfan was dancing. No balls and a strike to Cole Fellows. 0-1. Fellows smashes this one through the right side and a base hit. Really not a smash. Farfan's going to head to third. Here's the throw. It is a good one, but it's just a little late. A perfect throw and a good deke by the third baseman, Russell, to look like the ball wasn't coming in. Farfan just beat it.
Almost caught Farfan sleeping on the base path there. But for Cole Fellows, he'll take that. He'll take that. Now we have first and third. Nobody out here. And, yeah, the sound off the bat fooled you. Fooled me. I thought it was hit way harder than that. And honestly, good thing it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because then that would have probably prevented Farfan from going first to third. Gilliam now with a chance.
Sam Gilliam, a single, double play, and a flyout. First pitch to Gilliam. High pop-up, back of the infield. Could be a tough play. Going out is Castrillo, coming in Delicado. Makes the catch. Farfan's going to bluff the tag as the throw comes into the cutoff man, Tandy. Braden Delicado has got a cannon out there.
Yeah, that was an absolute bullet. It would have been a perfect throw had not been cut off. I think Farfan may have learned his lesson. He just got in safely once. Don't need to test it twice.
Here's Griffin Harrison. Harrison, a solid day. Reached on a fielder's choice, singled, and then struck out. This is a situation, first and third, 1 out, or no outs before, that the Crawdads need to cash in on. First pitch. Runner goes from first. It's a called strike. Throw goes to second, and it is not in time. Wow. Fellows gets in safely. The tag, a diving tag by Jackson Forbes. And the Solano manager is out of the dugout, and he is not happy.
Yep, clap your hands, smile, wave, and know you just got away with one there because the throw beat him. I think the tag beat him too, and everyone's a little bit surprised. Honestly,
I think Cole Fellows is surprised.
Yeah, honestly, a little surprised. Max Farfan saw that throw going all the way to second and didn't break for the plate. If Fellows was called out at second, now you have a runner on third, 2 outs. But, I mean, if Farfan broke for the plate, a perfect throw has to be made. The catcher has to catch it and apply a tag. So
it adds a lot to the equation.
Yeah.
They're going to go talk to Brant Cummings about this, it looks like, which I think is not a good sign for the Crawdads. He looked out. I think he was out. Throw beat him. It was a good athletic tag by Forbes, the shortstop. Oh, wow. Is that... I've never seen a play overturned here. Happened one other time against Healdsburg. All from my knowledge, that was. It was all me.
Yeah, you definitely don't see that with no replay, but...
Called strike on the first pitch. So 2 outs now. Crawdads in danger of really squandering a really good opportunity. 4-3, Dads lead by 1. Griffin Harrison in a big spot. The 0-1. Bounces in a nice block by Ballholm.
CRS, catcher, run, saved. What a block.
We calculating those? Or are we keeping track of those this summer? I know you said it about, I think it was Gilliam. Oh, no, it was Nico in.
Yeah, I've said it every time it's happened. I don't keep track. It's a little bit.
It's hard.
After 5, it gets hard for me to count any much higher than that.
1-1, another CRS. A nice stop there by Ballholm.
Yeah, he's going to work here. That's, well, it's not easy.
Do you miss catching?
No.
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Hitting was fun.
Yeah.
A little scary. Won't lie.
2-1. Harrison takes a slider a little low. 3-1.
I really liked pitching though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about baseball that I do miss. Never a power arm. 78, 82 miles per hour on the fastball. Changeup with a whole lot of depth.
Okay.
Very, very nice changeup.
3-1. High pop-up on the infield in foul territory. Bronson Ballholm, but it's the pitcher Rancha, and it's going to drop in foul territory. Just in no man's land. Tandy couldn't find it.
It's a ball that should have been caught. It's a ball that needs to be caught. And, well, I was talking about baseball gods punishing. You know, you allow that to happen. You give a batter a second life. More than not, they're going to cash in.
Yeah. I like that you say not a power arm, 78-82. That would have been just about the top of what I faced in high school. I was not a power arm, and I sat like 58-62.
We had guys in our league. We had 2 guys 90+.
Never saw that.
Actually, well, 4 guys 90+, 2 guys 94+.
3-2. Harrison a chopper foul. Yeah, I've never seen. I think I saw 80 once. That was about it.
What did that look like to you?
I mean, it was hard. I was never like velo. Never really got to me when I was playing. That was my one thing as a player.
I liked catching velo.
Yeah.
Hitting, not so much.
3-2. Outside ball 4. Good at bat by Harrison.
Yeah, he used that second life that he was granted by the defense, and well, cash in with a walk, pass the stick, flip the order, give Ryan Ellis a chance. He can swing it.
Too many Ryans on this team.
There's a lot.
I think it's 7.
It's up there, past my ability to count.
Right. How many have we seen today?
Brome,
Ellis, Featherston, Troy.
Yep. That's 4 Ryans.
I think there was one more, but I could be wrong. No, I think you're right. 4.
4.
First pitch to Ryan Ellis.
Oh.
Fouled back. Spolero's been doing gun today.
Spolero has been in front of us doing the gun. Brian, pretty much the same thing. Brian, 4 Ryans. That's just a lot.
I think there are other Ryans on the team, too.
Oh, yes, there are.
I have the roster in front of me. Why are we not just looking at the roster? Ryan Delaney, Ryan Spolero, Ryan Troy, Ryan Featherston. There's 4 pitchers named Ryan. 4 pitchers named Ryan. Ryan Ellis, throw in Brome. 6.
6.
It's a lot of Ryans.
It is. It's a lot to keep track of.
It's a couple Maxes. No balls and a strike to one of the 6 Ryans. It's Ryan Ellis. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Dads have to cash. The 0-1. Ellis fouls it back again, 0-2.
Love the intent behind his 2 swings in this at-bat. He's looking to do some damage. I love that from the little fella.
It's not a big dude. But again, he packs a powerful punch.
He's a
Ryan's
fun
out of
at-bat.
bats, yeah.
He's a fun at-bat. I've said it once in this broadcast, but the bat speed is really good, and he stays in the zone for a long time. He puts on really good swings.
0-2. Fisted foul.
Stay
Doesn't
alive.
really strike out a lot.
That's what he does. He just makes a lot of contact and puts on a lot of good swings, spoils a lot of good pitches. That one, I mean, a fastball in on the hands, on the black. You just foul it off, get yourself another chance. It's exactly what you want out of your leadoff hitter.
The 0-2. And he balks. He tripped on the mound. He's going to balk. The run's going to come home to score. The baseball gods have punished the Cats.
Wow. You go back one batter. If that foul pop-up is caught, that never happens. Instead, well, Crawdads add on to their lead. It's a 2-run lead, 5-3. Just, I mean, you want to score runs, but that's kind of not the way that you want to do it. That's a little unfortunate.
It'll be now at least a 2-run cushion for Cade Cushing. But, bing.
Brutal.
Hated that. The 0-2.
Brutal.
Ellis is way off the outside. Ball home. Slides over to his left to get it. When you work for the dads, you got to use the dad jokes.
Well, yeah, it's mandatory, I feel like. I haven't busted out too many.
Oh, you'll get there. You will get there, I promise. Summers get long. The 1-2 to Ellis. Off the outside, 2-2.
We had some stuff at UCSB that we did that was, I don't know about dad joke, but definitely play on words, rhyme schemes.
Oh, yeah.
Spice up the broadcast a little
sure.
bit.
Deuces are wild to number 2 on the dads to 2-2. On the outside, called strike 3. Arancha freezes him with the slider. We'll go to the top of the 9th. The dads closer, Cade Cushing, coming into the ball game to try to protect a 2-run lead here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network. Top of the order for the top of the 9th inning. Jackson Forbes, Bronson Ballholm, Austin Russell. Crawdads trying to bring their league record back to 500, win the first game of the season against Solano, and they'll go to the righty, Cade Cushing.
Yeah, no better arm. We saw him in the CCL opener, the game that the Crawdads lost in just heartbreaking fashion, 10-7. But he came in, did a really good job relieving Ryan Troy. We all know about the Ryan Troy outing. Gave up 1 hit, but then retired the next 3 batters. He looked really good in that outing. I expect him to look about the same. The trumpets have been played here at Monte Vista High School, but we're still 3 outs away.
Troy, a freshman, first pitch Cushing, fastball swing and a miss. Good start from me, but a really good start from Cade Cushing. Cushing, though, a freshman at San Jose State, wasn't too great there in his 4 appearances, but again, a strong start to the summer. The 0-1. Fastball a little low, 1-1. Almost works from the like quasi windup where he's set with both feet facing third base, but he'll still kick back. The 1-1. High pop-up on the infield. Ellis, the second baseman, charging Ryan Brome, also on the right side, but it'll be Ellis making a chest-high catch for out number 1.
Yeah, good start. And Cushing commanding the fastball. That's the big thing for him. Did a really good job of it when he came in. He gave up one hit in that last outing. It was on a fastball, but it was very weakly hit. You see in this at-bat, he worked the corners, and then he got a weak pop-up. That's exactly what you're looking for out of the right-hander.
That'll bring up Bronson Ballholm, the catcher. Ballholm 1 for 4 on the day. First pitch from Cushing. Fastball just a little high. The 1-0. Off the outside, 2-0. Austin Russell on deck. Jake Tandy, the dangerous hitter in the hole. 2-0. Little high, 3-0.
Well, 3-0, time to bounce back big. Obviously, you don't want Tandy any chance to get to the plate here, so it's best if you battle back in this at-bat.
He will not even close.
4-pitch walk after a a relatively easy out, number 1. That's not exactly the start that the Crawdads had envisioned.
Here's Austin Russell. Sets up a potential for a game-ending double play. Also sets up the potential for a game-tying home run.
Dual-edged sword.
Russell today, 0 for 4. First pitch, way up high. Cushing, whose command was really good in his first outing, has not been there today. One 0. On the outside, zips a fastball in there. Ball on a strike.
It's a nice pitch. Really good bounce back pitch after 5 straight balls.
1-1. Fastball fly to the right side, foul.
Well, now you're ahead, 1-2. You can go to a few things. Work the changeup, break off a slider, go back to that fastball up, maybe try to bust him inside.
One, two, curveball, flied right center field. Brian DeRoff in the alleyway makes the catch for out number 1. 2.
Out number 2.
Excuse me. My bad. I was just joking.
I'm all tangled up here. This is not good.
Figured it out. We're good now.
Unbelievable.
Are we good now?
We're getting there. There we go.
Here's Jake Tandy. 2 outs. Cushing needs one more to secure the save. First pitch. Curveball up high. 1-0.
Yeah, I went to the 12-6 there, trying to throw in the get me over, but couldn't get that release point and kind of released it out back by the ear, not getting it out in front. When you get it out in front, you'll get the good action.
1-0. Fisted foul. Straight back. A ball and a strike to Tandy. 3 for 3, hit by a pitch. Good player. The 1-1. Fouled back. 1-2.
That's a really good pitch there by Cushing. Fastball, top of the zone. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to it with the command of the off speed a little bit all over the place in this inning. And it does look like Tandy has been late on the heater.
The 1-2. Fouled straight back.
Wasn't late on that one. It was a swing full of intent. And, yeah, he didn't miss it by all that much.
No. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cushing with Ballholm on first. To Tandy, still yet to be retired today. The 1-2. Line to the right side, foul. Looked like Tandy almost ripped that one out of the glove of the catcher, Gilliam. Read it really late, but was able to stay alive.
Yeah, that's what a good hitter does. They're not sitting on a certain pitch. They get that pitch they're not sitting on, and they're still able to fight it off, make some contact, and work your way to another pitch.
1-2. Popped up, right side. This could do it. Ryan Brome over will watch it go foul. Just off the Crawdads dugout.
I was trying to fight back into the field of play. Good effort by Brome. And no real chance, no chance at all as he was jumping up, joking as he joking to the dugout, saying, maybe I could have got it if I jumped. No, he couldn't have.
Close. Nah, not that close.
Not at all.
A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The look to first. The 1-2. Got him! Blew the fastball by him over the outside edge. Cade Cushing gets the first save of the year for the Crawdads, and the Dads win 5-3. Whew.
Deep
Scared
breath.
for a little at the end.
Deep breath, relax. Just a great day at the ballpark. Almost said Gauchos. No, the Crawdads reigned victorious here. Scored 2 in the first, and you thought that, all right, this could be another 11-run game that we've seen a few times already. But no, Mudcats did a really good job. Battled back, made it tight. It was a really fun game. Crawdads 8 hits, 5 runs. Kind of did everything today. Had some bounce back performances. Ryan Troy, clap it up for Ryan Troy. I know it doesn't seem like all that much, but an outing like he had today is a huge, and I cannot understate, huge confidence booster going forward for the rest of the season and, well, the rest of his career as well.
Crawdads win 5-3, excuse me. Brian Featherston, the winner. Brian Arancha, the loser. Cade Cushing gets his first save as a Crawdad, the first of the year for the Crawdads. Game started 1:04, finished 3:36, 2 hours, 32 minutes. The final time of game. Big thank yous to everyone who made this production possible. To Alondise for everything he's done for the last 2 years. Cannot say enough how much he means to this program. To Kobe Segal and Justin Tass for the pre- and post-game shows. Be sure to tune into that. For Carson Mercier, I'm Austin Oda. We will see you tomorrow as the Crawdads take on the Sonoma Stompers back here at Monte Vista. 1 p.m. the start for that one. Thank you for tuning in to the Walnut Creek Crawdads Streaming Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Walnut Creek Crawdads postgame show. I am your host, Justin DeHaas. Alongside me, co-player of the game, Ryan Featherston. Ryan, how did you feel out there today?
I felt good. Went out there with, not all my best stuff, but I made what I had work. Try to fill up the zone, let my defense work a little bit, and give the team a chance to win.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, you didn't have your best stuff, yet you still were able to pull out a great performance. I mean, in 2 innings of work, 3 strikeouts. Can you just talk to me about each of those strikeouts and what was working for you on those specific at-bats?
Yeah, in the pen today, I didn't really have my slider, and that was kind of something that I had to make adjustments throughout my outing. But fastball and changeup were playing really well today, and I was able to throw both of those pitches off each other. And getting ahead and getting to 2 strikes, it obviously gave me options, and allowed me to give my slider some work and give me options. So fastball, changeup, slider, threw all of those in all the right counts, and just try to keep the hitters off balance.
Yeah, and obviously you were a co-player of the game, but the whole bullpen after Bergeron was just fantastic. Can you talk to me about some of the other guys that came out in relief and what they were able to do?
Oh yeah, Cushing was unbelievable there in the last inning, coming out and closing it out. Troy bouncing back from a rough outing against the Admirals. He showed a lot of resilience, came in and shut them down.
And I just want to close here. Obviously, you were going to Oregon. I'm sure you saw the game last night. What was your reaction to that?
Oh, that fires me up. I love to see that.
Yeah, hopefully we keep that momentum rolling. Ryan Featherston, thank you for coming on to the postgame show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Let's go.
Thank you to Ryan and Justin. Right now we got Tyson Pointer, another co-player of the game. Tyson, I'm glad that you're here. Glad we got to interview two of you guys. So you had 3 RBIs,
Yep.
no hits, 2 sack flies, and a ground out for an RBI. What's your approach when you have a run around third? Is it just to make contact? Are you still trying to drive the ball? What's your approach?
Yeah, with the runner on third, less than 2 outs, my approach is just get the first available pitch and, try to do damage as much as possible. So in that situation, the first sac fly, I got a fastball out over the plate, and that was the first available pitch to do damage. So just trying to take advantage of that in that situation and put the barrel on the ball. So.
Yeah, and I also want to talk about the DH position for a second. What do you do in the dugout before an at bat while your team's in the field?
Really, in the DH role, you just got to stay locked in, especially in these sorts of situations. Some of the games can kind of drag on, but I DH'd for a complete year last year at junior college just because I had some injuries. So, it was something that I didn't do a lot this year, but making sure, you stay hooked up in the dugout and don't get too distracted in there, staying locked in. So.
Yeah, for sure. One last thing, your teammate Ryan Troy had a little tough outing the first time.
Yeah.
How fun was it to see him get back out there? And
it was awesome, man. And that, we always root for our teammates, and that's something, this game is tough. It's a game of failure, and we all know that playing at this high of a level. So for him, he got knocked down and he bounced right back, having success, and that's what it's all about. So I've been experiencing some of it myself, a little slow at the plate, not as productive as usual. So just staying within, being you, and, continuing to go through your routine on a day-to-day basis to find success in the long run. So
Yes.
super excited for Troy.
Yes, and you mentioned those struggles. So when you have a day when you don't get on base, but you have three RBIs, like, what's it like? I mean,
It's just about execution. One thing, back at school that my head coach talks to me a lot about is, you can't go searching. You just got to stay within yourself, like I said, and keep doing you. So in that situation, I did my job, get the runs in, even though you don't get rewarded with the base hit. It's still rewarding, to look at the scoreboard and see that the 3 RBIs were able to help us get a win as a team. So.
all right, Tyson, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having
Congratulations
me.
on the win. All right.
Alrighty, everyone. As you heard, your co-players of the game are the Crawdads, and I apologize, but the read here says your Crawdads player of the game, but I have to say it. Your Crawdads co-players of the game
Wow.
is brought to you by DVY Cards and Collectibles, a local shop with all your favorite cards and collectibles, conveniently located just off the 4 freeway. And so, Kobe, first time we've had co-players of the game. Honestly, caught me off guard a little bit. I mean, up here we only have 2 headsets. Sometimes we have 3, like when we had Casey Cummings up here, we had 3 headsets, but we only had 2 headsets and we had 2 players. So we had to figure something out. Fortunately, we were able to do this. But what do you make of the performances of Ryan Featherston and Tyson Pointer?
Well, I mean, clearly they were very important. Tyson Pointer, 3 RBIs. I mean, just a great job to make contact. And, I mean, all the 3 RBIs were with a run around third and less than 2 outs. So in that situation, you do see a lot of teams, strike out, not make the right contact. But Tyson did a great job of driving the ball. I mean, the 2 sac flies were hit really well, and just great job by him to not try to do too much.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, RBI is such a tough stat sometimes because it's only valuable when you have runners on base, right? And usually when runners in scoring position. But, Pointer came up multiple times with that happening. And, for him to come through and to be able to get those runners in, 3 RBI, I mean, when you only score 5 runs, he produced more than half of the offense, obviously. And so very strong showing for Pointer. And, I mean, for Featherston, we were talking about it up here, and we thought that he was probably going to be, a player of the game candidate. But honestly, it was tough because the entire bullpen was just fantastic. Yeah. Austin Bergeron threw 3 innings, 3 earned. Not a great outing by any means, but, didn't get blown up either, right? It's something where, through 3 innings, the team's still in it. You're giving this dangerous lineup enough, room to be able to come back, and that's what they were able to do. Can you just talk about the bullpen's performance as a whole, with Featherston including?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, obviously Ryan Featherston was one of the co-players of the game, but I mean, Nate Nordell came in, pitched scoreless 4th and 5th. Featherston came in 3 strikeouts, 2 innings, only 1 batter on base. That was by a walk, and the only contact they made was like little dribblers. So I mean, just a fantastic performance for them. And then Ryan Troy coming in, bouncing back, a little tough start, 2 walks, but then he started really finding the zone, painting the corners, and as Tyson said, like the team was just so happy to see and to see him bounce back. That was awesome. And then Cade Cushing coming in the 9th, walks runner, no big deal, and strikes out the last hitter. So I mean, just a great performance from the bullpen. Again, the score of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight zeros on the scoreboard. Fantastic.
Yeah, no kidding. And I mean, you mentioned Ryan Troy, and you asked Pointer about that. I didn't even ask Featherston about Ryan Troy specifically. I asked him about the bullpen, and he, on his own, organically brought up Ryan Troy and how important that bounce back was. For him to come in, shut down inning, just very impressive overall. I mean, yeah, he didn't let anyone on base, right? It's just, very impressive. Gets that, when you have an ERA and WHIP as at infinity, to be able to bring that back down.
Yes.
And hey, props to Ryan Troy for being able to do that, and they're going to need him to be a reliable reliever for them this year. And so, again, your player of the games, or I should say your co-player of the games, are brought to you by DVY Cards and Collectibles, a local shop with all your favorite cards and collectibles, conveniently located just off the 4 freeway. And before we get into more analysis of this game, why don't I just make another promo read and just talk about the out-of-town scoreboard? So this look around the CCO is brought to you by American Stage Tours. American Stage Tours, small enough to look, small enough to care, and large enough to compete. And so, obviously, you see here 5-3, but the Academy Barons are playing the Conejo Oaks, and right now that game is 0-0, and it looks like it either just started or is about to start. I think it's a 4 p.m. start time, so That is going to start shortly. No other games are playing right now. You've got the San Luis Obispo Blues versus the Santa Barbara Foresters at 6. The OC Riptide versus the Arroyo Seco Saints at 6:05. Interesting start time, but I digress. And then, yeah, that game's there. But, yeah, Kobe, so as we dive into this game more, we've already talked about our players of the game. Anyone else stand out to you?
I mean, in terms of the offensive side, Ryan Brome in first inning, he had an RBI double. He crushed it over the center fielder's head. Could have been a home run if the fence was a little in a little shorter. So, great job of him. He also had a key walk in a part of that fantastic seventh. So, Ryan first 4 games, but looks.
And look, he was put in the leadoff spot today, and normally that's Casey Cummings. But, Ryan Ellis is usually your 2-hole hitter. So, he's always at the top, in some form or fashion. This time, actually, as the leadoff. And he really, replace Bellows has been playing off the center role. And, I talked about specifically at Sonoma State how he didn't really pitch that deep into games. I believe the most he pitched in a game this past season was 5 innings, and he gave up like 4 earned. And today he went 6 with 6 hits allowed, 4 walks, 3 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. So when I look at his line, I see a quality start, 6 hits and 4 walks over the course. But again,
He did a good job of staying in the. He had 3 straight. Thought the Crawdads, their approach was pretty good because while he only had 3 runs, but I thought their contact was really good. I thought a lot of line drives and Tyson Pointer at 2 bombs of sac flies. So I think Crawdads did good, but just great job mentally by Chase Banks to stay in there and give his team a chance to win.
Yeah, for sure. And then when I'm looking at this Mudcats lineup, it's a bunch of guys who got 1 hit. And then, I'm blanking on his first name, but Tandy. Do you?
Jake Tandy.
Jake Tandy. Yeah, he had 3 hits today in 4 at-bats. So very good performance for him in the cleanup spot. Did a great job overall. But anyone else stand out to you in that Mudcats lineup?
Well, definitely Nate Hamburger. Not necessarily for his
Play.
For his offensive play, but his defensive play. I thought he was really good in center field. There were a lot of balls I think maybe against some other teams would have dropped, but he caught. The Crawdads hit a lot of fly balls today. So good job for Nate Hamburger in center.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of I just want to go back to pitching real quick for the Mudcats. Arantia, 2 innings pitch, allowed 2 runs, only 1 of them earned. But obviously, in a close game like this, later in the game, you just cannot, have this kind of performance. And, it's not atrocious by any means. 2 hits, 2 walks. But like I said, stakes get higher in close games. You got to be on your game. And unfortunately for the Mudcats, Arantia was not necessarily on that, especially for a guy like Chase Banks, who had a great outing. But, a guy like Arantia comes in and, doesn't necessarily, give Banks a chance to win the game, if you will. But, besides that for pitching, we talked about the bullpen for the Crawdads, and I think, with Austin Berggren, he not a great start, but 3 innings, 3 earned runs. Again, like I said before, it keeps your team in the game.
Yep.
And the lineup for the Crawdads, which we all know is extremely deep, was able to come back from that. After giving up 2 runs in the first inning, they were able to take the lead back in the third, and it was just kind of back and forward. But, this was just a very close and competitive game, and we've only seen a couple of these. And both of them, the Crawdads lost to the Admirals.
Yep.
We were talking about this before, but the run differential for the Crawdads is kind of insane because in their 1 win in the CCL, They won by like 10, and then the other two they combined for like -4, and so they had like a 6 total, I believe. So I think they said on the broadcast how the squad was 2-2, could have been 4-0, if things change. But they were able to come out victorious in a close game, the first time that they've won a close game so far this year. Kobe, do you have any other thoughts on this game?
Well, I mean, I think it's great that they got back 500 and finally won one of these close ones. And I think in the past, I mean, and we saw 2 games where maybe their bullpen maybe let them down a bit. But I mean, in this game, they did not. They were awesome, and I think one of the most important things is they didn't come back from, and that was kind of the game right there. And then last game they had 5 air strikes and just a great
Say, this is what, was a major factor in losing the game. But, they were able to win this one because they were able to minimize those guys like Troy, were able to come back and have strong performances. The defense was able to bounce back and have a strong performance, only allowing 1 error. So it was just a great day at the ballpark. Great weather. The fans got mud pies. Someone won free ice cream. It's just an incredible day. And you know what? We're going to have another incredible day tomorrow on Sunday when the Sonoma Stompers come into town. It's going to be another 1 p.m. start time. And look, it's going to be a fun one at Monte Vista High School. You should come on by to Danville and, join us. So thank you again for listening to the Crawdads postgame show. For Kobe Siegel, I am your host, Justin DeHaas. Thank you for listening.